調子は普通です。
調子はどうだい？
今日普通です。
今日は何するん？
今日は残念ですがです。もう反映したの？早くない？
また3時に寝るんけ。
早い。オープニング。
This is my handy RS4 daily driver, and it's really, really quick. No doubt about that, but I want to know exactly how much power. 44 brake horsepower. Yeah. This car's only 60 brake horsepower.
着替えよう。いやー E3 を見てましたはいはい E3 を見ていたというか E3 を見た後にまあドライブをしたんですが、いやーすごいね。
机にのカンパにはがっかりだよ
デスストランディングとラスアスと朝栗とバイオとあと対馬見たんだけどすごいね。いやーもうなんか当たり前のようにさ、もうほぼほぼ実写みたいな。
対馬すげかったわ。
対馬すごいよね。 まあ、なんちゃって日本そんな好きじゃないんだけど、すごいなって思うわ。あれでも気持ちいいんだろうなって思うもんね、見ててもやっぱり。
気持ちいいだろう。あなたは気持ちよくなる。
人を殺すのは気持ちがいいこと。
昨日見損ねたボンバーマン見るの？
なんだっけボンバーマンって。あ、見よっか。ゴースト・オブ・ツシマな。あ、なにクラッシュバンディクー出るの？ファイナルファンタジーのイベントもあるんで、やつもあるんだけどさ、7時間あるんだけどファイナルファンタジーのスピードラン7時間なんだけどさ、アサシンクリードオデッセイ。注意。
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. The story of this car began over 100 years ago in the era when the Cullinan Diamond was on Earth.
あ、あれ電動かよマジかよ、あれ電動だったのかよ、この椅子。すげえな。やばっ次回のテルサン TV はロールスロイスカリナン。さすが3500万の車だな。
電動椅子すごい。
まあ4000万ぐらいするからな、このね車。もうちょっと次元が違うというか。
ジンベエの人生何回分数？
俺350回ぐらいじゃない？
なんて状況だ。
高速道路を5キロ逆走しろと言われたんじゃないの、もしかして。なんか全然ピンとこない。どういうこと？どういうこと？
誰か
ずらすってこと？ちょっとよくわかんないっす。ちょっとよくわかんないっす。ああ
トラックを追い越そうとした対向車と衝突とかですかね。
石田さんの読み子コドラ悪が強すぎる。スバル強えな。
岡山の山道か。
これね、群馬。これ群馬から来てる。ああ、危ない。練習はどうなんだろう。多分でもコースは決まってるからな。強いんだよな、新井田中今年。ただ事前にコドラっていうさっき言った読み上げてる人はコースを何日か下にするんだよね。2日か。すげえ。 次は北海道か。今年は冬では走らんのかな。
鹿とか熊とか飛び出してこないの？
ね、飛び出してきそうだけどね。ごめん。いやー、なんかあんま見ると怒られそうだから見ないけど。じゃあ絵描くか。
は？やめて。
絵描くか、今日は。
今日はどんなジンボットに慰めてもらおうか。
おっ、
いい雰囲気だ。
あ、コントローラーが落ちた。
匂いいいなマッシュルーム。
この人結構マッシュルーム切ってんだよね。この頃はまだ装備があまり揃っていないと思う。
もう半分はアスクー。ジンベエの車中泊前景。
いや、今度するよ。まあ、こんな豪勢な飯は作んだけど。あれ、なんでこんなことになっちゃう？
ハンバーグだ。うわぁ、この時間に美味そうなもの見せやがって。悪魔的。
笑っちゃうわ、この曲流れると。バッドエンドだったな今回。
しんちゃんの車って寝袋してるの？
寝袋敷けるほど大きくないよ、ハッチバックだから。まあ椅子倒してフラットになるかどうかだよね、まず。あれ、俺なんで別にもうヘッドホンしたくない。本当になんか最近は通話するとき以外はヘッドホンしてないんだよね。まあ、音聞きたいとか、まあゲームするときとかやるけど。でもモントベルのマットレスぐらいは欲しいよね。夏だからさ、基本的にそんなに乗せる必要ないじゃんね。
海賊戦アサシンブリードっぽくない？ URL 省略。
キングダムハーツか。キングダムハーツか。あんまりね、ゲームの映像うかうか見られないんだよね。E3 とかのやつ。前ポケモン見てYouTube 止められちゃったことがあったからさ。あんまりね、うかうか新作ゲームって見れないんだよね。
When he selected. You good to go? So share jump on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so what Lively did there at the start of the run is when he selected his file, he reset the console. This creates the file and allows him to skip a really long cutscene. And that's the start of the run. So this first level is a pretty simple level. It sort of teaches you how to play the game and what buttons do what. So in a speedrun it's quite straightforward. Essentially you go around, you run, and you activate all these switches, I guess you could call them. And yeah. So here he drops a bomb, which just knocks him into the switch. So when Bomberman falls from a certain height, he normally stumbles, and by dropping the bomb on his head and knocking himself into the switch, it allows him to not have to stand still for a while. And we can do some donations now.
We have $10 from Anonymous. Though I don't watch speedruns often, I have to donate to such an amazing cause. Keep up the great work, you fantastic people, you. If you're looking to have your donation comment read, now is a great time to donate.
Alright, so right now Lively's going to do one of the first sort of bomb jumps of things. So he throws that big bomb, which allows him to jump across the gap, and saves him walking around to the back and up the stairs. So each world in Bomberman, there's 4 stages. There's 2 stages like this where you go around and do sort of puzzles. There's a mini-boss and a main boss. Each of the mini-bosses is sort of a humanoid boss, and the first of them is Sirius, which is coming up soon. And then the other ones are usually a big creature or robot or something. So with the humanoid bosses, they usually take 3 bombs to defeat. Or you can knock them out and throw them off the edge, which is a lot quicker. So for all the mini bosses, we usually have a way to quick kill them by throwing them off the edge.
出た車中泊 SUV じゃねえこれ SUV じゃねえんだよ俺バリーが俺もここ SUV じゃねえんだすまんな転校生なんか未だにピンときてないんだよなこのボンバーマンというゲームこの64のボンバーマンというゲーム未だにピンときてないんだよな
So Green Ground 3, we want to go get this big gem thing, but when we get to it,
ここら辺からよく意味が分かってなくて
you're not allowed to have it.
ここら辺からよく何をしていいのか分からず
this level
や
is
めてん
going
だよ
around and trying to get the gem.
いやなんかたまたまクリアして魚に口の中に爆弾を入れりゃいいんだ
You
ろう
notice
って
at
いう
the
と
start
こ
of
ろま
each
で分か
level,
った
he'll zoom the camera in. This is because when the camera is zoomed out, it can create a lot of extra lag with all the extra enemies loaded.
これにペン入れていく
And having the camera zoomed in just stops lag occurring. Or helps
No!
lag occurring. So after this cutscene, he's going to blow up 2 boxes, and in the boxes there'll be hopefully 2 item upgrades. The 2 types that he's looking for are a radius and an extra bomb. So what he got there was 2 extra bombs, which isn't that good. So throughout the run, it's ideal to get 2 radius upgrades, which just increases the radius of your bombs by 2, and then 1 bomb extra bomb. The extra bomb allows us to do triple bomb jumps, which allows us to get up to spots we wouldn't normally be allowed to get up to. So what he picked up just then was remote bombs. The remote bombs, once you have them, it allows you to detonate the bombs whenever you want by clicking Z, and it makes this section a little quicker because you can climb up this huge tower without having to wait for all the bombs to explode. So by standing where he is now, he falls straight into the teleporter, which means he doesn't have to move after the bridge collapses. Yeah, so here, you can use the lifts to get up quicker by blowing them up himself, rather than kicking the bomb under and having to wait for it to detonate itself. Alright, so Dragon's the first boss. He does 1 of 3 attacks, so he can either breathe fire, bite you, or fly under the bridge. The best pattern is he bites you, because you can actually get a 1 cycle by hitting with 3 bombs in that 1 cycle, and the other 2 you can only get 1 hit on, which isn't good. So sometimes it looks like you're going to get the hits, but you don't. And it looked like you got them there. But a good 2 cycle there.
あれ魚のやつは？
いそいそい。
So at the start of Blue 1, he'll try to collect some more power upgrades. He doesn't really need the radius, but the reason we like having the extra radius is one of the bosses later on is much easier with bigger radius bombs. But apart from that, we don't really need the extra radius. So Blue 1, as well as collecting power-ups, it's also one of the... has a lot of the biggest skips. So usually you go around, you press a bunch of switches and knock down a bunch of bridges, but with this 2 bomb jump, we can just get up here and skip pretty much the whole level.
おー、すげえ。
So up next is Artemis. She's a humanoid boss, so she's pretty easy to get rid of. Just knock her out and throw her off the edge. If you mess this one up, it's probably one of the longest, most difficult fights, because she's hard to knock out when it's not the initial phases of the fight.
「開口一番死になさい」というやつ。
So all levels in, or not all, but a lot of the levels in Bomberman 64, if you can reach the end of the level when it hasn't actually been activated, you can still finish the level. But in some cases, it will soft lock the game.
かわいそうだと思う。
So the reason he walked all the way up here to do the triple bomb jump to get up is so that he can kill this butterfly.
会場何の盛り上がりもないの。
It'll
あれ笑うとこじゃないの。
it'll actually, the butterfly won't actually spawn. So here
もう当たり前なのか、
we use
この
a
仕方
couple
が。
of bomb jumps. So 2 bomb jump here to get up onto this little bit, and then we jump across here, and then up here into the
常習化しているのか。
So usually it creates some stairs so you can climb up there, but we make our own stairs with the bombs to get up there. And it's much quicker than having to go do a bunch of puzzles to get the stairs to come up.
あ、こいつこいつ。
So Leviathan, who is a fish, has 3 attacks. He can stomp you, he can wag his tail at you, or he can cut up your bridge and send a massive wave at you. The best pattern is him stomping you, because it allows you to throw a bomb into his mouth and do 2 damage. And then you can do 1 more hit after that, which leads for a quick fight. And yeah, so he got the stomping attack. It's actually possible to get an extra hit on that phase, but it's very difficult to do. And if you mess it up, you're likely going to blow up the his angler,
え、30分で終わるの Any% このゲー
which
ム。
won't let you get that attack again.
ほぼだらやす。
アロイランタン。あ、腰痛い。めっちゃ
Red
腰痛い
Mountain,。one of the big things we do in Red Mountain is just walk off edges. Usually they did tend you to walk around and follow paths, but because we can do stuff like that bomb jump there, we can just walk off most of the edges to skip a lot of the level.
要は何しとるか。
おとといしたよ。土曜日か。おとといじゃねえわ。
So coming through here, at the bottom of these stairs, Lively's going to place a bomb on a very precise pixel.
土曜日
This
ほん
is
と久しぶりにした
because
な。
he thinks it despawns the cone enemy at the top, but we've found that it doesn't actually do that.
4、5ヶ月ぶりぐらいじゃない。
I think for a long time most of us did that because we thought it was what it caused him to despawn, but I think it was it's more the movement on the way up to there that causes it. It's not really about how many bombs are dropped or where they're dropped.
緑地にならないね。
So Orion, he usually just runs down at you, but sometimes he likes to run off to the left and do his own thing. But if he runs straight down at you, you can throw a bomb on his head and chuck him off the edge. If not, you can usually get to a diagonal from him, and he'll run at you, and it's nice and easy to throw a bomb at him there.
久しぶりにする気になるタイミングなんなん。
That was unfortunate.
タイミング？要は家に誰もいない。
It looks like Lively's gonna kill him using explosions from the bomb. So the reason we got the heart earlier, I didn't explain this. It's used for a glitch later on, which saves about 30 seconds by skipping a boss and some cutscenes.
バックボンの 2% スピードなんです。
So what hearts do is they allow you to take an extra hit of damage, and so
26分で終わるぞ。あと15分だ要は。
in normal
15
mode,
分
when
で
you
この
lose
ゲ
a
ーム
heart,
終
it
わるぞ。
actually will remain on the field, so you can recollect it. But in hard mode, they disappear as soon as you get hit.
早すぎ。
So just there, dropped another bomb on his head just to allow him to get into the cutscene without Bomberman stumbling. So coming up at the top here, there's a little cutscene skip, which allows Bomberman to jump across into the end of the level. It actually skips having to blow up 4 pillars, and also the cutscene of the bridge falling down. And it saves about 10 or 12 seconds. That's unfortunate. So there he placed the bomb a little bit close, and as you can see, he hit the second bomb while it was still just after he bounced off the first one. So I didn't get the distance he needed to make it across to the platform.
日本語版でやるのがデフォなんか。
And curated
多
donation.
分日本語版じゃないとバグが治ってる
Have
可能性があるね。
$64.64 from Robo Bluebird. Go Lively Raccoon. Have fun and don't
マ
trust
リオ
serious.
64とか
Runner's
マリオ
choice.
系は大体日本語だよね。ソニックは
So
なんか
here
英
he's
語
just
多い
going
け
to
ど。
blow off the pillars because he's already blown up the 2 on the left. So it's quicker to just blow up the other 2. So the next boss is Hades. He's a big robot that's controlled by Orion. The best pattern is for him to spin straight away, which allows you to do all the damage to him in one cycle, but if he doesn't do that, he'll punch. And punches, if he does only punches, it'll be an extra 2 cycles on top of the spinning one. So yeah, here he's punching. So at this point, it doesn't matter what he does on the next cycle if he gets through to the next cycle, because he's going to die as soon as he gets hit by a bomb. So that little tower Lively made just then, it's RNG manipulation. Not really, it just looks cool. Those little towers are used a lot in 100% to get to spots where you can't actually do regular bomb jumps, so it allows you to create little standing bomb jumps, so you can sort of
めっちゃ
jump
気
from
軽にボ
anywhere.
ムタワー作るじゃん。
そういう世界なんですよ彼らは。
So here Lively's gonna, because he lost his heart when he fell into the lava, he's gonna recollect a new one. There's a couple spots we can do this out throughout the run, but here in
そう
White
いう
1
世界なん
and
です
そうい
ね。
う世界
back
なんで
in
す。
Blue 3, I think it is, yeah, Blue 3 are the quickest 2 hearts to get, so those are the 2 we usually aim to get.
もう普通にやってくるからねこうい
So
うこ
just
と。
there he does a little 3 bomb jump to get up to
普
that
通に
ledge,
こういうことする
saves
から
him walking around. So here there's some wind, and the wind actually stops you from being able to climb up these hills. But you can get around that first little section and up to here and wait for the wind up here instead of down at the bottom, which is quite quick. So coming up after he throws this bomb, the bomb will blow up a house, which will get lowered so he can go press a switch. And on top of the house there's a snowman. You can actually do some jumps off the snowman, and one of them will save you, if you get, depending on the angle you come off from, you will either save like 0.2 of a second, lose 0.2 of a second, and if you don't do it you'll get what time you would have gotten. Right there, because he came off diagonally, instead of down, straight towards the switch, he actually lost 0.3 of a second, so he probably shouldn't have gone for that. Regulus is one of the easier mini-bosses in terms of, not only is he easy to do the quick kill, but if you miss the quick kill it's quite easy to do a backup strat, because he does the same pattern every time. So he'll, not the same pattern, but he'll do the same attack every time. So when he charges at you, you just walk near an edge and you can just kick a bomb at him and throw him off the edge. So as you can see, if he hadn't been thrown off there for some reason, it would have been easy for Lively to just run off to one of the other edges and he would have charged at him again.
笑いどころじゃねえのか今の。
ジンベエ今何キロ？
俺
So the next level is slippery shiny floor.
66
It's just an ice level with ice physics. There's not really much to it. The only other gimmick to it is in the middle rooms, the floor gets inverted. So instead of looking from above, he's looking from underneath.
65.6
But because we know that all these rooms you just run straight, it's not an issue that the camera's messed up.
なんか知らんけど
We
ペン
got
タ
a
ブの
fair
芯
bit
を
of
しとっ
time
た
in this level for donations.
We have $20 from Ashkin Honordust.
使ってや
Let's
つじゃ
go
んこれ
lively. The only reason I'll wake up at 5 a.m. is to watch a sick Bomberman 64 run.
使い古したペンタブの芯がなぜか落ちてた。
There's $40 from It's Baris. Love seeing one of my favorite N64 games played. Great cause to give to as well. I'll do 20 for the Final Fantasy VI train suplex, and 20 to
デ
save
フォ
the
ルメする
animals,
なら
because I've
首
never
は
had
ほ
a
ぼ成
frame
功な
as a
点でい
pet.
いと思うよ。
そうだよ
So
ね。
here there's
なん
this
か
little
斜め
plan
斜
we
めだっ
like
た
to
ら
call
するの。
Gandalf. He won't let you pass sometimes, and if you try to pass and he's not letting you pass, he will push you in. Do some more
またこ
donations.
れちょっとガタイ良くなっちゃう。ガタイ良くなっちゃうの嫌なんだよ
Here's
な。
$10 from Blue Sin. Good evening from Australia.
なんだこのアン
Nice
グ
to
ル。
hear a familiar accent on the couch. Shout out to Treeby, the biggest Bomberman fan I know. Another $5 if the announcer can yell "Buengaus" in his best Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. Well, I tried.
Alright, so the next boss is Mantis, but we like to call him Spider because he looks like a spider and he has a web at the bottom. So pretty much for Mantis or Spider, what we like to do is pump up bombs
こういう
and
ボ
throw
ス
them
好き。
from underneath, so we sort of just dance underneath
こういう
while throwing bombs.
こういう形
Have a
のボ
little
ス好
party
き。
under there.
内輪くんの好きそうな。
Once you've done 3 hits of damage to him, he'll destroy the floor. It's possible for him to not do this, which saves a little bit of time, but
著書にしたいなら実写の書よりラストの書のがいいかもね。
うん。
Right, so after beating the first 4 worlds, it allows you to go up to Black Fortress, and this is Artemis, what's his name? Altez. I kept calling him Artemis, but, up to Altez's base. So, Black 1 is what we like to call traffic. Essentially we just run through the traffic and try not to get hit. The cars and buses have very specific patterns, so it's easy to know where to stand on each screen. And we just do little jumps across those gaps, which saves us running around to above the floor on those platforms and having to do some backtracking in areas. Time for a donation.
Here's $200 from Kyle13. I have nothing clever to say, but thanks for doing this. I've had a lot of entertainment this week because of SGDQ. Also, I used to play Bomberman 64 so much as a kid. This game rules. $10
まあ
for
これ
the gift wrap.
もしかし
Greetings from
まあこれ
Finland.
なぞっちゃっ
Watching
て
SGDQ always makes my work
あれに
week
して
go
もいいんだけ
so
ど
much
な。
faster. Good luck for all the runners.
Alright, so at the start of the run we grabbed that heart, and the
Wait,
reason we grabbed the heart
나섰잖아.
is in this room is a mini boss. So if you walk
あの
across
メッシュ
where
変
those
形
two
で
lampposts down
合
there
わせちゃ
are,
ってもいいんだけ
it'll
どな。
actually spawn the mini boss and cause a big cutscene. So what we do is this glitch which allows us to sort of float around, and because we can float around, it lets us skip a couple cutscenes and the mini boss, which
なんだこれ、
allows
バグ
us
技
to
か
just go over here to the end of the level. The reason he has to drop that bomb is to actually exit the glitch state and allow him to trigger the cutscene, the loading zone at the end. This next boss is Harvester. He's not a very nice guy. That's all there is to say. One of the main spots where runs come to die. One of the reasons he's quite difficult is because he moves around a lot and will put giant explosions everywhere which can kill you quite quickly. Whoa. Very lucky
こ
there
い
to
つ
miss
恐ろ
getting
し
hit
く
by
強
that
かっ
laser.
たな。
なんか見てるだけでむずそうだ
So
もん。
most of the other
鬼強そうだもん
bosses
ね
we use, big
見る
bombs
だけ
on,
で。
but Harvester, because you can kick the bombs along the ground and he's on the ground, you can hit him for half hearts, which is usually quicker than using big bombs. Nice 5 card there. So on most of the bosses you can get cards by destroying different parts of their bodies. It's not useful in any percent, but a lot of the time on Harvester you'll get it just by going quick. So this is Trap Tower, one of the
ゴ
worst
ールド
levels
カ
in
ー
the
ド全
game,
部取って裏
but
ボス
we
もやって
skip a
ほ
lot of
し
it
い
by
わ。
jumping over
2%
fences,
だから多分そ
jumping
れ
up
は
onto
ないね。
ledges. And so in each of the parts of the level, he'll go around, do the puzzling stuff,
普通にボス。
and then he'll step on one of those flying elephants you just saw there, which takes him up to the next level.
ギャラリーのテンション低すぎない。
ギャラリーほんとなんかこの回盛り上がり全然ないな。
So this next
だって始まった時の拍手も
probably
な
the
い
worst
し。
floor in the game. When you die, you go back to the start of the floor you were on. And this one, because you're walking on this small edge that usually has enemies on it, they quite often knock you off into the... and then you have to re-click this switch and redo everything you've done up to that point. So you can lose quite a lot of time on this level by dying on it.
戦いでマイナーなんかね。
A lot of the time when you think you're safe from
あ
those
んなに
enemies,
暖かい
they
GDQ の会場
turn
が
around and push you off
冷え切っ
anyway.
ている。何があったのか。前の出演者がブチ切れたのか。そんなバカな。
ボンバーマンヒーローズないのかな。
ボンバーマンまだほとんどないと思うよ。
So in this next room, there's a big door.
なんか
To get rid of this door, you have to
時の
drop
オカリ
big
ナ
bomb
目
on
隠し
it.
でやるっていう頭おかしいやつあった
The
け
big
ど
bomb
ね。
takes a long time to explode. So what we do is we kick a small bomb and use the explosion from the small bomb to blow up a big bomb that we throw. And this blows up the door a lot quicker, but requires you to mash really fast. And when I first started playing, it was quite difficult to mash quickly, so I asked Lively how to mash quickly, and he gave me some pretty good advice. Do you want to share that advice with people?
Just push the button.
So up until, I think it was about halfway through last year, this fight was very RNG reliant, because we needed Vega, the little ship there, to not attack us at the start.
13
こ
秒
の
だ
X とひらがなカタカナ。
About 3 seconds.
そう。
But then last year, Square Wave found a way
日
to
本語版だからで
kick a
す。
bomb at him, run left and kick a bomb at him, which was much more consistent and meant we avoided Vega
出た遊
completely.
びは終わりだ殺し
And
て
then
や
one
る
day
よ
when
っ
I
て
was
いう
doing
や
that
つ。
strat, I accidentally walked a bit far, and this is what happened.
アルタイル。
Oh,
That's
not
not
that.
what
That's not what happened. What happened was I kicked the bomb and Altair jumps straight off the edge, making the fight a lot easier than it used to be. So I think Lively's just going to use bomb explosions to kill him. And so here's the last phase. Time's coming up soon. This last phase can be quite difficult sometimes. I know a couple of people who've died to it, me included. I think Mess has died to it a couple times. And pretty on time.
Ah!
And time.
Time.
殺されたが
So yeah, that last fight you really shouldn't die to, but if you don't pick him up quick enough, sometimes the bomb that you use to knock
四
him
天
out
王
can
みたい
kill
な
you.
やつ2半分投げられて
So that's Bomberman 64.
マジか。マリオワールド。さっき何見てたんだっけ。さっきのはマリオ64か。
This block specifically. So if you'd like to see
Super Mario 64 is the one, the best game ever made. Alright, I'm ready.
120スタ
So
ー
I'm gonna count down, right?
1時間41分
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go!
あったけ
Okay, so
長い戦
this
いだ
game
な
starts off pretty fast. The first trick in the game actually is called LBLJ, stands for Lobby Backwards
ティーチ識字率が
It's one of the hardest tricks in the game, I would say, and it's like the first thing I do, so please don't laugh if I fail it, thank you. If I fail it, though, it's not a big deal. I could just go to VOB and do Bomb Clip Star, or, I mean, you could try LBLJ again, but I probably won't, because
漢字を書いてください
times it would just be kind of embarrassing.
If done optimally, it saves about 10 seconds over the other route.
So I'm gonna let the couch do most of the commentary for a little while, and I would focus on trying to, you know, play good. So let's go.
Also, right at the start, there's a trick called Lack 2 Skip. If you long jump on the very edge of the bridge, you skip the text of Lack 2 just explaining how the camera works.
I think it saved like 8
マリオで
seconds.
も読めるように
Yeah.
No.
Ah.
No big deal.
It's nothing huge.
Just get the LBOJ. Just a
珍しいな 10ゲーム飛ばせられなかった
Alright, let's go.
てか右のやつでかすぎないかちょっと
And this is the method that you'll see in a lot of the shorter runs, like the 16 star that started off, but we didn't really start using it for 120 until relatively recently.
Should be close. There.
That probably made up for the time that he lost on a Lagatu skip.
Yeah. The reason it works is because Mario's
子供の
backward
中に
speed
大人が
doesn't
転
have
が
a
って
cap,
るが
and every jump
そん
builds
な
up
感じ
speed,
だよ
so
ね
he was under an invisible ceiling,
こいつだけ
and he's
種
just
族
spamming
違うぞ
backwards long jumps, and it builds up enough speed to clip.
オスドラフだぞこいつ
Another kind of interesting thing about the LBLJ is that she's recently got one of the world records before he got the 139 without using LBLJ, so he knew that the ceiling was, or the, excuse me, the floor was even lower than it could have been because he skipped doing that. Now he's got it down pretty pat.
So we just got what's called Shigeru Cycle. It's one of the fastest cycles you can get in Dark World. Before that, it's called Normal Cycle, etc. And each one's about a 4-second difference.
There's a faster cycle too. That's called Zaya cycle, but he didn't go for it. I don't blame him. It saves like a second.
That'll hit. Okay. The hitbox is kind of weird on the Bowser throw. I think it depends on how far you are from the bomb as well. I think the further away you are from the bomb, the less frames you have to hit the bomb.
でか大臣、仕返してみろよ。
Yeah.
Yeah, and Bowser throws are one of those things that plague every runner at one point or another, so that's a key thing that we got to make sure we do typically good in speedruns.
So now we're headed to Wom's Fortress, a very technical stage. It's very difficult to pull everything off. So we kind of route it that way so you get there first because you're going to have a lot of resets in that stage.
Yeah, this category starts off really fast. You do LBLJ, Dark World, Womps, and it's all pretty hard. After Womps it starts to die down a bit though, it gets a little bit easier.
Nice.
Nice.
So if you'll notice, after every star, he'll go down to the bottom menu option. Like there, he just went down 2 menu options, and you'd think that'd be slow, but you need to wait a little bit before you can even press an option. So during that time, you can move up and down, but you can't press A. And each time you save on a star, you lose 8 frames. And that's about 0.24 seconds per star. It adds up to around 30 seconds. So he's going to try to not save on any star.
Yeah, and that was new cannonless. It's a guaranteed strat to get that star. Usually you have to blow yourself out of the cannon, and that takes forever. So they just decide to get a perfect setup so that they don't have to worry about, you know, all the weird stuff that has to do with that clipping through there.
Until a couple of years ago, players actually just would run off the plank, and it's very precise that way, and cause a lot of resets. So they opt to lose a bit of time, but get the consistency of the setup.
We didn't even talk about Owless, the first trick he did. That's an incredibly difficult trick.
あれなんか見た気がするこれ。
So that jump there is pretty tricky, but he's just going to opt to do 1 cycle slower on 100 coin. It's also known as half cycle, just because of the way that that wooden plank moves.
Yeah, it loses about 8 seconds.
Yeah, it loses like 8 to 10. It's pretty difficult to make that cycle.
完成されとるな。
Not too bad though.
Otherwise a good 100, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd wait.
これ真似して。
Okay.
It's a good problem to have.
This is late, but I'd like to give a shout out to
あ、違う、俺80枚の方が
Stockholder
見たの。
Yeah, huge shout outs.
He didn't spend much time either. He's just like a beast at finding all this cool stuff.
Alright, so this next star is like the hardest one in the game.
Yeah, everyone needs to be quiet. This is by far the hardest star.
Ooh,
Alright,
yes.
got it. Yes!
Legendary.
Legendary.
Just one thing to note too, at any chance you can, ground pounding to get a star is faster, because it cancels the animation and Mario drops faster, which then starts the ending cutscene quicker, so it's a little optimization that you'll probably see done for a lot of stars.
Yeah, you either want to fall into a star or ground pound under it. If you jump into a star, you'll go up and then down, and that loses a lot of time.
One embarrassing thing that happens to a lot of people is they'll try to ground pound and then they'll end up backflipping the star.
Yeah.
And then loses a lot of time. And
It basically loses all the time you save throughout the entire run, just for ground pounding and just accidentally backflipping.
That's a common mistake. So that mistake happens a lot where, I don't know why, especially in Wom's Fortress, like you press A and B to jump dive, and sometimes the A button doesn't register, or you press B first instead of A, and he does a dive instead of a jump dive, and you just fall down.
Star って何なんだ?
That's one of the things about Super Mario 64 is that it's so
Stop.
precise with its movement that
Nani
it's a
stop?
lot of fun to watch and a lot of fun to play, but easy, like simple mistakes.
Nande?
Sometimes that just makes everything about.
なんで?
This upcoming star is called Aquarium. It's really easy, but in order to get like a really optimal aquarium, you have to do early turns. And sometimes you'll turn too early, and you'll miss a coin, so you have to like swim around. It loses a few seconds. Hopefully he doesn't do that.
Yeah, that's mostly what good swing's all about, is just cutting your corners as tight as you can. And then another thing to note, mostly in swimming stages, there's a lot of lag, so we try to reduce that by using cameras that keep things off screen. You'll see a lot of Roger Bay coming up.
Yeah, he's actually going to lag reduce right here.
See, this camera, like, he can't see ahead of himself very well, but it reduces lag. So you see that a lot throughout the run, especially in JRB.
実質これもうクッパのクッパの籠城作戦だよな。
Like that C left right there, if you just looked forward, you'd have already lost seconds just from looking forward.
Nice.
Nice.
お、何したいの?
Yeah, what you're meant to do is you want to swim around and you get the eel out of the ship and then you swim into the loading zone. But he did two things there. He clipped through the corner, which for whatever reason, if you just keep swimming into it, you'll clip.
Yeah, you have to go to the right so that you can clip through.
Yeah.
It saves a lot of time.
It's not that specific. If you go a little bit to the left, though, it won't work.
Yeah, the clip itself is pretty easy. The harder part's actually getting into the loading zone without hitting the eel.
すごいね。1時間39分20秒がワールドレコードらしいぞ今。
Coming up, he's going to use the punch or B in water to clip through the wall here. It's a little time save, but it's used in the 100 as well to scale up walls. Like it'll scale you up the wall or it'll push you right through, and as you saw, he just clipped down into, like normally you'd swim down to get into the cave. And you can actually just swim right through it, but it's very specific and we don't really understand how it works.
Time のためなら壁抜けでも何でもやってやる。
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have $1,000 from Carl Sagan 42. He says, here is payment for my sins in Super Punga World. That's absolutely crushed last year's donation total. Thank you.
Alright, so for this star, the intended strat is to use the metal cap, but if you just swim optimally, you can just grab the star through the jet stream. There's one other star like this in Dire Docks, but because of this, you can just skip the metal cap entirely.
Yeah,
but you need wing cap and vanish cap though.
Yeah, you never press the metal cap switch. You only need it for the metal cap star, as you'll see in HMC.
So yeah, you'll see a lot of weird lag reductions here. If you didn't do any here, you probably have like a calendar year.
Maybe two.
Yeah, this is a 100 coin. You're only allowed to miss one coin, really. A fun fact about this is that this area has 104 coins, so if you actually miss one of the blue coins, then you actually cannot get the 100 coin star. But you have to like screw up really badly to miss one of those.
I think it's one of those things everybody's done once.
Yeah.
I believe there's 4 red coins in this 100 plus reds. That the red coins are in a clam, and if you swim just right, you can get a red coin without waiting for the clam to open. Because the intended strat would be to just wait for it to open, then swim and get the red coin.
Yeah, the previous one you did there, the second one is the most precise.
Yeah. All the other ones are not too bad. So here he's going to use the punch to scale up the wall very quickly. Just barely grabbing those reds out of the clam. It's decently lenient.
You can be another donation if you want.
All right, we have a
案の定ガタイが良くなって
$1,000
るな。
donation from Light Guy 42.
まあまあまあ。
He says, long time watcher, first time donator. Let's see Portal 2 broken. I agree.
まあ予期したことだから別になんとも思わないけど。
移動とか縮めるなら変形じゃなくて切り取って移動でもいい。
If you have a very fast 100 coin here, by the time you reach the ship will be going up so that you can side flip onto it. But he didn't go fast enough for that. So that's like a sign that's really good.
Overall, not too bad at 100 though.
Yeah.
変脱と異性もある3桁体重だろもったに
He's going to
続
be
けろ
getting into the cannon for the next star here. In the Japanese version, the star is not inside of the box, so this star is actually like seconds faster, and is like
線が太い。まあ
I'd say
確かに
pretty
線が
much
太
why
い。
Japanese is faster than US in this category. He got it. Nice.
Nice.
Really precise shot there.
Wasn't sure if it's gonna work or not, so I took like a second to make sure.
One recent thing that people started doing in runs is called the simp cannon shot.
Made by yours truly.
Yeah, basically you just hold fully in the direction and then you try to press A at the exact time, and it can save a lot of time, but if you miss it, it can be problematic.
Yeah. If you miss it by going too low, then you can just swim and get the eel star, which doesn't lose time at all. But if you overshoot it, then you lose time due to lag.
欧米系の鍛えててスタイルがいい人っぽくて僕は好きです。
でもまあジンボットは割と鍛えてそう。
Pretty decent JRB.
Now we have the slides, which are some of the favorite things for viewers because it's one of the few stars that actually have a timer, so they like to try and guess what slide time you'll get.
12.5, baby.
12.6.
12.6 is what I always go with.
I'm gonna say 12.6. What does this say?
12.4.
Yeah.
12.6.
Yeah, right there. That's our guess.
That's the couch guess.
「しもやかの真似して、うちは君と戦うために鍛えないとね。」
No.
Oh, so bad. We got another one.
Yeah.
We got another one.
Yeah, you do this twice because there's the one where you have to beat a certain time, and then there's just the one in the box. So we'll try for 12.6 this time.
He had Mario Cam there to reduce lag because the light shining down causes lag.
Yeah, it's actually very laggy. You save almost a full second just by going to Mario Cam there.
So flying, like swimming in this game, is mostly just about turning at the right time. You want to turn a little earlier than you should so that you can catch the coins or whatever you want to get while turning. And that was a pretty good wing cap right there.
Also, you also don't want to... You also don't want to go like too high up or else you go too slow. Like, so it's not only like just early turning.
Yeah, you try to get the right parabola.
Yes,
if you will.
Well said.
Thank you.
You also don't want to land in between hitting the switch and getting the star because then you get another text box and it just spends more time.
ソニックアドベンチャーのレースでもスライダーでも後ろに向きに走る方が速いんだ。
The sign's bad luck.
なぜ後ろ向きに走る方が速いのか。
So now he's going to go to Bob-omb Battlefield for the first time, whereas if you were playing through this game just casually, you'd go to this stage first because it's the only stage you can go to, and where we would usually get our first star, but due to the glitch we did at the beginning, we were able to start off with Dark World.
Yeah, so he doesn't have to go back to enter this stage, so that saves a lot of time.
Yeah, because what you would do is you can't finish this stage right off the bat because you need wing cap, and to get wing cap you need 10 stars to be able to look up into the sunlight in the middle of the lobby to spawn in the wing cap stage.
もう当たり前だもんね。
You'd see another use of bomb clipping in SSL, and it's much more impressive, much harder as well.
Yeah, so you grab the bomb when it's about to blow up, and for whatever reason it gives you a lot of backwards momentum. And if you have that momentum and whenever you throw something in this game, Mario kind of gets pushed back, you use that plus the speed, and it gives you just enough to clip through.
There's another thing to note, actually. I think on the first wall kick there, she's got a first frame wall kick. So you have 4 frames to wall kick, and if you do on the first frame, you actually get the same speed that you had going into the wall, plus a small percentage. So sometimes, usually you want one, but sometimes they're hard to react to, and he did a good job of doing that there.
Yeah, and it can also mess up tricks. Like if you're trying to do owlless and you get a firstie, you won't be able to clip into the cage because you'll have too much speed. So a second frame wall kick is pretty ideal most times.
夢の中でさ
Alright, the next star is
夢の中でさ、
a
なんか
good
工場
race
見
time
学
is
み
like
たい
sub
な
18 seconds.
話になって、
He's going to go to the top to like finish a race
なん
and
か
then
これ
go
は
back down
車
to
の
open the cannon. He doesn't open the
中
cannon
の
at the
椅
start
子を作るときに
because he
使う
has a
待ち
victory,
針ですっ
but
て言って
anyways,
待ち針
to
を
go
もらっ
back to
た
the
んだ。
top. So he doesn't lose time opening
だけ
the
どこう
cannon.
何も入れるもん
And
な
then
か
as
っ
soon as
た
you finish
し
the race,
さ
the Koopa
待ち
speeds
針
up,
だったからさ
which is why you
どう
want to
しよう
finish
か
as
な
fast
と
as
思って
possible.
どうしようかなと思ったわけでさ落としちゃって途中でなくしちゃったんだよね待ち針
I don't think I would have made it with 4, so I just did extra wall kicks to make sure.
夢が覚める前に見つけたんだけどさ直前に
Yeah, so even though I lost about 4 seconds to the actual race, in real time I'd only lose about maybe a second.
どうしたらよかったかなあの待ち針
You probably have time for like
と
one
思ってさ
All right, we've got a big one. We've got $10,000 from the
待ち針
Yeti.
どうしたらよかった
It says, "Hey all, Yeti here. We are so hyped for Mario 64. This donation puts us at $125,000 raised for Doctors Without Borders from our collection. Thank you for all your support. We will be, which reminds me to tell you, you can still order items from until July 9th at midnight CST. Also stay tuned for a special finale item, which we'll be releasing right before the Earthbound run. Put our donation towards hitting that sweet, sweet 2 million mark. We can break AGDQ's record. I know it. I believe in you. I believe in us too. Thank you, the Yeti.
Okay, so really big RNG star here. I'll let the house explain about it really.
That's
like right there, he's already missed 2 coins. Yeah. That's pretty bad RNG.
Yeah, most of the RNG's at the end. There's 4, depending on how many coins you have going there, 3 to 4 pulls. You basically run around them 3 times, then 5 coins pop out. And the way they pop out is random, so sometimes they can get some really bad patterns that make you lose a lot of time.
Yeah, if you get really bad RNG, you can lose maybe 5 to 10 seconds off of perfect RNG.
Yeah. Let's just hope he doesn't lose the run to RNG.
That would be tragic.
That's a good meme.
That's pretty good flying.
A really good amount of coins to have when you're done flying here is like probably like 66 coins and up. If you have like 65 or less, I probably wouldn't skip one of the log pulls at the end.
Yeah, it's probably 65.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's probably going to just go around all 4 of the poles. Which loses a few seconds, so it's not too bad.
So if he had 66, he'd grab that box to the right, throw that, get 3 coins, and then kill maybe a Goomba depending on how many coins he needs. And he wouldn't have to spend time running around one of these poles.
Yeah, with 65, you want to get 4 coins, but you have a little bit of leeway, so you can kind of be a little aggressive. Maybe skip a coin here or there.
That was nice.
Yeah, that was hot.
That was some good coin collecting right there.
I can miss that one.
Yeah.
That 1 coin.
Yeah, not the greatest RNG overall, but he reacted to it pretty well.
Good ground pound.
You can see what these guys are saying is sometimes those coins just have a mind of their own, ruin everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the second most RNG dependent 100 coin. The first being SL, probably.
And a lot of 100 coins are done with red coin stars because you get 16 coins from getting all 8 reds, and they're usually scattered around the map in a way that you can get other coins while you get them. But there are some stages where you'll do a different star with 100. as we'll see later.
This is always a fun one for casual play, but kind of frustrating.
Yeah, to spawn this star, you have to get the middle coin and all of the rings. And if you have the perfect shot, you can get all 5.
Yeah, I missed the first one.
Yeah. I think it was a little low or a little high.
It was too low.
Yeah.
You want to aim like lower, like below the coin in the middle, but not too low, or else you just miss it completely, which is what happened.
Yeah, it's one of my least favorite stars in the game because even if you get a good cannon shot, sometimes Mario just.
俺たちのデカデンマぶち込んでみろ
Yeah, one thing to note too is if Mario flies multiple times like he does in that star, when you land from the first fly, the angle that he has is stored.
俺たちのデカデンマ
If you have a bad angle when you go into the cannon there, as soon as you get control of Mario in the cannon, he'll just like jolt at a weird angle and then you'll miss one.
Alright, he's done with lobby, which is like the first like main area. He's going to the basement now, which is like arguably the hardest part of the entire run. I think most runners think it's the hardest.
Basement is a run murder.
Yeah, notorious run killer.
なんだろうね
So he's gonna start basement by going for MIPS, and actually in the Japanese version, MIPS goes faster. The first MIPS, there's 2 MIPS that you can get, which is the little bunny. One spawns at 15 stars, and the next one spawns when you get
スマブラは確実でしょまず
That's one other thing too with the reason we got exactly 26 stars out of lobby is because that'll make it so that when we finish up all of basement, we'll have exactly 50.
Yep, and then you can get MIPS, and that's the only other star you'd need.
Okay, so time for the hardest trick in the game. I'm gonna go for it once. If I don't get it, it's not a big deal. But I'll let the couch explain it.
We'll just let him do it. We'll explain after. He's probably got to focus here.
Yeah.
Oh?
メトロプライムとかか
メトロイド
He did it!
会場が盛り上がりすぎて音を置き去りにした
Yeah, we weren't joking like we were in Womps. Like, that really is incredibly difficult.
It saves like a max of like 7 seconds, and if you do it in your runs, it's definitely the hardest thing to do in HMC. The 100 coin has some tricky parts. Overall, not too bad, but you can lose a lot of time here as well. The other stars are fairly easy.
Yeah, so that BLJ is so hard because if Cheese had any lapse in his mashing the entire time he's on that elevator, he would have lost the BLJ.
Yeah, you have to mash him really fast.
And then you also have to start holding back at a very precise time to get the right speed.
Alright, I actually missed that coin. I don't know why, but I have to go back and get that coin.
Yeah, that's one of the bigger mistakes you can make, but...
okay.
Yeah, he destroyed the box, so he has to go up and take the elevator.
Yeah.
This is one of the things that can happen on 100 coin.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things that, like, very small mistakes on this 100 can lose you an incredible amount of time. And, like, what he did there was just didn't move enough in the air to catch the red coin.
I need to ride the... Actually... Huh.
I'd say just ride it unless you know this long jump.
Yeah, I already know the long jump.
I'd wait. It can be really weird, actually.
A beginner strat is to long jump right there to that little part and then drop down and ground pound the box, but if you don't know it, it can be kind of hard.
ラバストとかじゃないのラバストかぬいぐるみかラインスタンプでしょ
It just kind of goes to show, like, he gets the hardest trick in the game, and then 100 coin just is like, yeah, I don't like you today, so...
Yeah, that jump where he missed the red there is a really actually difficult jump, but
また無難なところだとスマホケースと
it's one
か
of the less common ways to mess it up.
I should point out that this 100 coin route is actually different than the one I do. The difference is that he like kills the eyeball and like gets all the red coins in the room like after he does his BLJ.
Yeah, this route is somewhat new. Nicely done.
ラインスタンプはでも2個
It's
か
like some years old.
now. Yeah.
People do this route because the boulder, like boulders fall behind where he just was,
But if you do this route, you don't have to
動き
deal
の
with
ない
it
やつを
really.
2つ買ったけど
So it like removes RNG basically.
Yeah, and if you do the other route, you'll grab the star back there where he grabbed that line of 5, and that'll give all the rocks time to spawn. And it's just RNG whether or not you'll get hit by rocks as you run back to this room to get the star.
There's a lot of RNG to that eyeball as well. Like you can actually lose multiple seconds on like really bad RNG compared to the best.
That RNG's not great.
Yeah.
'Cause it stayed up on the platform there.
That was really good.
Handled it very well though.
Yeah.
I just went YOLO.
I thought he was going to go up on the platform.
I almost grabbed the red coin star. I got really scared.
It was a
そう
smart
にねスタンプま
do
だ
that.
ですか
Yeah.
Nice 100.
俺が持って
Okay,
る
the
の
hard
は
stuff in HMC is out of the way. It's like kind of.
あでも動いてるやつだわ
Actually, one thing you
ごめ
saw
ん
in
動い
the
てる
first
や
round
つ
that we
1
never
個
really
と
got to point out, you'll
自
see it
分
more.
突っ込み熊
They didn't put
ウゴ
ceiling
2
in
と
HMC, so you can
自
just
分
jump
突っ込み
over
熊
walls
健
and we'll take you to
康
a completely different room.
の2種類
So
持って
this
る
triple jump here will kind of showcase that.
And when you do this triple jump, he's holding back right now, because if you keep holding forward, you'll hit a death zone. So you hold back, wait a little bit, then go forward once you're under the death zone. That was nice.
すごいな今
He'll do that one more time to get to metal cap.
Yeah.
おいく
It's
ら
the only time that you use a
え
metal cap
120
in the
円
speed run.
Yeah. Unless you mess it up, then you hit the switch and get the metal cap. and
Yeah,
then do this.
that's only a backup.
Yeah.
Can I read a quick donation?
Yep.
We've got $305 from Dodecahedron. He says, he says, as promised, here's $15 for each of the 17 deaths and $50 for the missed jump. And he says, keep it up, cheese.
Thank you.
パチパチのやつか
So if you go really fast in the metal cap here, Mario won't blink at all before you get the star.
Yeah, blinking meaning that the cap's running out.
Yeah, it's called blinkless, and if he gets that, that's just like an optimal metal
わ
cap.
かるよ俺
This is not going to be it. Yeah.
メタルカズヤ
For it, but it's not. It wasn't that bad.
And there you go. Only time you'll see metal cap used.
Hope you enjoyed it.
No one really likes metal cap anyway.
Yeah, we only like vanish cap and wing cap. So back in the day, people didn't know why this worked. Why he's gonna hit the switch and it's gonna be. Oh, okay. Maybe.
Alright, we're in there.
All right. It won't work now unless he does a ground pound. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and if you triple jump wall kick, like you want to wall kick at around the peak height of the triple jump, and if you do it right, then you'll be able to like fall down onto the switch and it'll be pressed down instead of having to do it back up.
Yeah.
That trick's called Christmas Miracle because before they knew how it worked, they just said it was a Christmas miracle if you got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't heard that term in some time.
Yeah, that's an older one.
There's a later strat in TTM called breezeless, and it's kind of like the same concept, I guess. Like you want to triple jump wall kick at like the peak height of the triple jump.
Yeah, we'll explain that when we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we more donations if you would like?
All right, we have $100 from Simp Mom and Simp Dad. They say, go cheese go! Special thanks and congratulations to all the runners for another incredibly successful Games Done Quick. Love you guys, the Simp Mom and Simp Dad.
Hi mom, hi dad.
これドネーション送って元カノとかからメッセージ来たらどうすんだよ
Alright, done with HMC.
揺さぶってここで精神的動揺を誘うために元カノからメッセージが来るという地獄のような展開が始まったらどうなる
This is such a punishing level that we actually have a command and
Yes!
He got it.
Nice. Nice.
GDQ の会場でリベンジポルノを受けるという屈辱を
Sandland is for people that like just tune in for the first time.
GDQ の会場で
Sandland always ruins everything.
リベンジポルノを受けるという屈辱をされてる場合どうすればいい
Here's
の
another bomb trick.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's a lot of depth to that trick. He started by grabbing the bomb while it was exploding like previous.
Nice.
Then by jumping over the slope and jump diving back over, that made it so that the bomb won't explode and he can ground pound with it. He then rode it to the pyramid and ground pounded it in a specific spot to put it through into the hole.
Yeah, as you'll see in 100, the top of the pyramid comes off, but it still exists. Like, the loading zone's still there, similar to Cannonless.
I don't know why that happened. The fly guy shouldn't be that far away.
Yeah, you want to run up the right half of that pillar, and the fly guy will be in the right spot. He kind of looked like he was there, though, so...
That trick is called topless because you don't go on top of the bomb, like you just do what he did. And so it's a fastest strat.
Yeah, the intended way to get in here is you go all around the level to unlock the top of the pyramid. You go in, and then you ride an elevator all the way down, and it gives you an entrance into this room. But instead, we can just wall kick and grab the ledge.
かわいそうすぎるだろ。
Experimented with the heart rate monitor and shifting Sandland until he got to like close to the world record, held constantly the highest heart rate because it was always so nerve-wracking.
Yeah, a lot of scary things like HMC. It's just a very punishing level if you make small mistakes.
Yeah, HMC has 2 really hard stars, and then the rest are kind of simple.
この大会に出るにはそれぐらいのメンタル面を持っていなきゃいけない。元カノから来ても一切動揺しないメンタル面を持っていなければダメ。
It's probably like overall the hardest stage, really close anyways.
Alright, so the next song I'm gonna do is I'll be the hardest star in the game. Or the most, I don't know, technical, one of the most technical stars.
And the route for this, it's been around for a while, but recently Cheese, myself, and many other runners have switched to this route. It's about 2 seconds faster. Normally you'd keep running, you'd get the wing cap and you'd keep going that way to a different pillar, but instead you just do this triple jump here.
Yeah, now we hope to get 3 of the red coins and 1, I guess, fly, if you will, where before we did 2 and 2.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So here, you can actually lose a ton of time, and you can barely tell the difference between good flying or bad flying, except right here at the end with the blocks, and that was good flying.
So getting that coin's pretty precise as well. The 7th one there.
You go too high, you miss it, you have to turn around. You go too low, you'll land, and you'll have so much speed, you'll just fall into the death zone.
Nice. That was really good.
That was good, Reds. Round of applause. Beautiful Reds.
My heart rate went down like half.
なんか顔もでかいな。
This is another quite big RNG star. Lots of coins flying everywhere.
Most of it right here at the start.
Yep.
This is actually one of the few times that you'll see
that was
pretty good RNG. A split between the 100 coin and the red coin. You can also get screwed over by like a pokey or 2.
Yeah. So the reason we don't do this with reds is because we go into the pyramid. The red coin's all being out. I don't even think there's
not 100 outside.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think this is the first 100 without reds so far on the run.
Can I read a quick donation?
Yep.
We have $300 from Grand Pooh Bear. He says, this is for Dode's deaths. He also says, hey Cheese, can I get a picture after the run?
マリオサンシャインやりたくなってきたな。
Love Grand Pooh Bear.
That was a pretty clean outside.
That part there could be
辻さんから言われて気がついたけど RPG あんまやんないかな俺。
Missing the third one's not too bad, but missing 1 or 2 is
あ
really
んま
bad. You have to climb all the way back
RPG 自
up
分
and
でやってない
go
な
back
とあん
to
まり
get
思っ
them.
てないんだけど確かにやってないからやってないっちゃやってない。
Also, there's a glitch there we avoided on the Japanese version called sound glitch. Basically, after you spawn the secret star, if the first
ど
input
ちら
that
か
you
と
do
言ったら
with the joystick,
アクションか。アクションなの
or
か。
like you move before you jump, basically the game just mutes, and as soon as you get a game, the game crashes. Or you get a star, the game crashes.
Yeah, so we avoid it by doing a neutral jump. Just holding the controller neutral or just not moving it at all and jumping.
RPG
It
っていう
can also
RPG だっ
happen
た
for
ら僕マ
what
リオ
Rival
RPG ぐらいだもん
secrets, but
な。
that's very rare.
If you're doing everything right, it won't happen. In what Rival
Yeah, it'll never happen.
So this one starts like the second hardest star in the game.
Yeah, we need some focus,
Need some focus here.
some prayer.
Oh wait, never mind. That was easy.
Yes!
早すぎ。
He's so good!
How
パー
did you do
3
it?
のホールか。
How many hours do you practice that star?
ピラミッドのてっぺんでキャッチ。
Literally zero. Alright, this
Okay.
is one of the easiest stages.
Yeah. Definitely the easiest basement level, like by far.
Yeah, it's not necessarily too easy of a stage, but it's just overshadowed by the fact that you just finished SSL and HMC, which are two of the hardest.
There's a lot of spots where you can just
なん
like
か
land
マリオ
and hop onto
64 で
the
またなん
seconds.
か新しいムーブメントがあるらしくて。
That's not to say
A ボタンをね、どれだけ押さずにクリアするかっていう。
there's lava, there's fireballs. A lot of stuff can go wrong, but comparatively, it's
Bullies also
vacation.
get in the way.
なんていうの、やつがあるらしくて。
So if you use enough speed here with the triple jump with the wing cap, or you just triple jump off of that thing, you can just fly over this gate and get that star. But what they intend you to do is go all the way around, and it's like a little obstacle course.
So next up, he's going to confront some bullies and take care of them.
Yeah, the next two stars are the bully ones. The one with a single like big bully is easier than the other one.
That's how we feel about bullies.
Yeah, those are ones you probably struggle with as a kid, but in a speedrun, you literally just help them off pretty much.
Yeah, it's a joke.
For the next star, there's going to be 3 bullies, and it's kind of easy to screw up because you kind of have to be in a specific spot when you like ground pound or whatever to knock them all down.
I actually don't do the ground pound.
Yeah, he
it's
does a single jump.
Yeah, that works as well. I don't know if it's like better or not.
It's more preference.
Thing is, if you don't risk doing a backflip when you do the ground pound.
Yeah, I did that earlier in a race and lost.
So I just
He
did
did
it.
it.
Whoa.
That's how it looks.
スピード退場。
Really good lethal lava land so far.
You just jinxed it, man. What are you doing?
Come on, get it together.
誰か一人ぐらいプレステのコントローラで
So,
ボタンは押さずにク
for the
リアし
100
て
coin
ほし
star,
い。
you can either do it 5th or 6th, but you use a shell and it spawns on star 5. So you actually have
プ
to
レ
do
ステのボタンに A
it.
はねえだ
He's
ろ。
gonna have to do it last.
プレステのボタンに A はねえだろ。
Right, I can't get an invisible here,
X ならん
but
だ。
let's just hope it doesn't happen. Alright. We're good.
Yeah, you can just lava boost onto that elevator, but I'm pretty sure there's another elevator around the volcano that you get on first, and then it takes you to that elevator.
Okay,
But
so you
we
could
just
be.
use the boost.
最近気になって
Could,
る
could
車
be
ある？
donations now.
最近気になってる車
All right, we do have a $200 donation from Milk04 who says, "Hi Cheese, when I grow up, I hope to be just like
最近
you."
気になってる車はね
Keep it up, man.
アウディ RS3、
Milk 04.
アウディ RS3 ポロ
We
GTI、
also have $50 from PJ Kank 2. My wife and I are huge fans of Cheese and
あと
Super
松
Mario
田ロードス
64.
ター
Good luck today, and thanks for being
最
a
近
great
マイナーチェンジした松田ロードスター以上。
One thing to note too, with this, you can actually get lag in this star.
Oh,
That's
it's got it.
purely RNG because right off the beginning, if one of the eyeballs is looking at you, you get lag because of it for some reason. Even if you do the reductions.
I wasn't sure where that light came from, actually.
I
Yeah.
didn't know either. I thought it was just random.
Thought it was from flames shoot in randomly.
This is really cool movement in the volcano.
It's really fast and technical. I suck at it though.
Me too.
Beautiful.
So that was really good.
Craygasm.
すごいな本当に。
Alright, he's about to catch the second MIPS in just like a few seconds here.
And after that, he's going to Vanish Cap. I think everyone hates that level.
There's
It
a
is
lot
one
of
the most
invis
famous,
walls.
so. Yeah,
Invis walls
it's pretty
and
funny
ceiling,
that
yeah.
there's a lot of invis balls in Vanish Cap.
They have the Vanish Cap on.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty hard grab.
Alright, so yeah, this next stage is my most hated stage. This next star. I don't like the Vanish Cap star at all. It's, any mistake you make, you pretty much die. But when you die, you don't lose that much time, but it's still kind of, you know, if you go to world record or something, it's pretty much a reset. So it's quite
い
difficult.
やー、のりさんはやっぱりさ、ほら、
I don't know a good way to explain like invis walls.
お友達がいるから
Sometimes you'll just
ツー
do
シ
like
ーター
a
オー
jump
プンはなかな
somewhere
か合わん
and
で
then
しょ
you'll just bonk into a wall that you can't see. There's like
I think that's a pretty great
detailed
way to explain
explanation to it.
as well. But sometimes you just bonk because you do.
Most of them are kind of avoidable, but because we kind of know where they are. But sometimes you hit new ones you've never seen before.
Yeah, they don't move. They're all in the same spot every time, but just not being able to see them makes it hard to
Okay.
avoid.
He just got early alleys, so this is looking good.
助手席に乗せてるのにニトラでしょ。
かわいい。
Nice.
Siglavic!
That was like a
すごいな
perfect
今の。
Vanish Cap. Alright, upcoming stage is Cool Mountain. It's overall really easy, but there's some unfortunate things that can happen. Like, he's going to start with wall kicks or work. You can die here, which is obviously really bad.
や
Or
っぱ
like,
肩があれだな。
100 coin, you can
肩を
miss like
縮める
2
か。
coins on the slide and lose like a minute.
Yeah, so if wall kicks do in fact work, it's good. But if it doesn't, then you usually die.
Yes. Didn't die.
That can happen
fine.
too, but it's much better than just like dying.
Backed it up really well too.
Yeah. I think that's the only spot you use a backflip intentionally.
No, well, I use a backflip in the wedge world. I don't know if anyone does that to enter the stage
Oh,
again.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Also in Rainbow Ride Carpet, but that's just like...
Yeah.
This is CCM Reds. This is one of the levels you don't do like 100 coins with it. In my opinion, this is the hardest star in CCM. Like after this star is over, it's really easy.
Getting that coin without actually grabbing the tree is fairly precise.
Yeah. Like coins have like big hitboxes, and you just have to like interact with the hitbox and not touch a tree. It's pretty precise.
Not bad.
Nice
Pretty
red.
good.
Yeah, good reds all around.
まだ胴長い。
So those of you that did the slide as a kid,
Yeah, let's just skip everything.
yeah, we can just go to the bottom.
顔が小さい。
顔が小さい。
If you like fall down at the end, you can do a moonwalk like that.
Yeah,
It's fast.
he just clipped the edge of the ice,
Yeah.
like that little ice road, whatever you want to call that.
だるま
And
落
it
としす
changed
ればいい
Mario
よ。
from a dive state to
Scones
just
やる。
falling. And if you're falling with speed and you're
Scones
moving
する
the
か。
stick, then you'll keep your speed. And you just held towards the door.
この誰も落としもどこ落としゃいいのかあんまりピンときてないんだよね。
So, if you're ever at a party, this is probably the easiest trick to show your friends. Looks cool.
Yeah, this looks like a crazy star, but it's pretty simple.
足振ってんな。
Well done. Saved the penguin.
So I got some penguin noises in the crowd. Nobody? Damn. There we go.
No, because anytime anything makes a penguin noise, we throw it
あ
off
あ、
the
なん
edge.
か偉い胸張ってんな。ドーンと構えてるな。おお、ドーンと構えてるな。
Yeah, so this
みんな
road
構えてるな。
allows for one
するなら
coin
顔
miss.
小さいな。
If you miss two, you have to do the race over
Oh,
again.
顔
It's one
小
of
さい
the
んだ、
more
これで。
notorious run killers, but it's fairly easy. It's just something that everybody kind of does once in a while.
You can actually grab the red coin to the left right there. You can grab it, but it's completely optional and slow. So,
Safety red.
yeah. Only like newer players do it.
Yeah.
So he can miss 1 coin. You're gonna intentionally miss 1 coin on the slide.
Yeah, because if you don't, then the star is higher up when you grab it. All right, he's pretty safe here. Like he has to miss 2.
Yeah, those right there are the 2 spots where you normally would miss 1.
So I intentionally miss 1 here.
And there you go. That's the coin you missed on purpose.
So if he got that coin, then the star would have just spawned 1 coin earlier and made it a little harder to grab and a little slower potentially.
You actually have to be able to hear right there to make sure you don't bump into the penguin too.
Yeah, so what happens there is kind of like, so after I spawn the star, you can hear the penguin coming down, and sometimes the penguin can come really late, like finish the race really late, and if you long jump too early, the penguin will push you off and you would die. So once you just listen to the penguin and you hear it coming, you're pretty much safe and you could just long jump to the star. Yeah, if you grab that star, if you grab the 100 coin star before the penguin comes down, he'll just push you off. You'll get the 100 coin star, but you'll just get pushed off and then instantly teleported to the bottom of the level and then die. Unless you're really lucky, then you might not get pushed off.
You can read a donation if you want. This is a really simple star.
Sure. We've got $100 from Pun Mom and Pun Dad.
Oh my God.
This is from Puncation's Mom and Dad. Love the Cheezo 5 and simply and especially Puncation.
Thank you.
Time to get off the couch and get in the chair for the world record, son.
Oh my God. Oh.
They say hugs from Pun Mom and Pun Dad, and 9Ball says hi.
Hi.
So a lot of people ask, during that last star, he grabbed 17 coins, and you'd think, isn't it slow to grab coins because they count up after you get a star? But unless you get, I don't know, maybe it's 50, somewhere
like
around
60
50.
something.
Yeah, 60. You won't lose time due to grabbing coins because they count up while he's doing his little animation with his hat. And if you get 100 coins, then it'll still make it in time. It's like between 60 to 99, you'll lose time. And then if you get a ton of coins after 100.
This star is called Go on a Ghost Hunt. There's two door clips you can do. I don't think he's going to do any of them. You can do one right there. They both save a little bit of time, but they're kind of hard. That optimization right there where you jump dive across, that's fairly new. It saves like
Lucas
half a
stride.
second.
Because a guy named Lucas found it.
Oh, yeah, interesting. So you could do another clip here, and the way the clips work is if you kill a boo, you have to wait a little bit before they'll talk, because you have to wait for them to actually die. Like, he'll kill this boo, but the star doesn't spawn until then because the boo hit the wall or they need to go a certain distance before they poof away. And if they're in the middle of that and you're waiting for the text, you can just go through doors. So you use a long jump to clip through them, but he didn't go for them because he doesn't do that movement.
Yeah, we're just kind of
どうくらいの大きさが好ましい。
I guess
なるほど。
getting into runs.
ひょ
Like
っ
a
こ
few
り
players
班
do
の真
now.
似して。
い
Yeah,
やー、一回見たことがない、ひょっこりは
to do it in runs. It's been known for a while.
I guess one little tiny thing to note too is if you ever have a set of 2 doors, like when he enters the house there, going through the left door actually has a cutscene of opening that's 0.3 seconds shorter. So we're gonna do that any chance we can.
Yeah, if you go through the left, he pushes it. If he goes to the right, he pulls it, opens it. Too slow.
まずうちにはだね、屋上があったよね。
That was terrible RNG.
Should be back in time.
Yeah, you have a lot of room for error here.
Yeah. But getting locked out there is one of the bigger time losses you can have.
Yeah, if you spend too much time out back there, you can't clip back through that wall that he went through without the vanish cap. So you'd have to go all the way to the front of the house. You could read a couple donations.
Sure. We have $50 from Vlog Thoven. Gotta donate during Cheese's run. I've been regularly watching his stream for the past few months, and his dedication and progress is truly inspiring. Put this towards Portal 2 because more games are always better than less.
今見てる資料がここから下がねえんだよな。こっから下が。こっから下はもう自分でやるしかないっていう。こうなるか、ここぐらい。自分で。
Looking forward to TikTok clock and an amazing run. Good luck and may RNG be with you.
Oh my god. So that could have been very bad. You can really bonk there sometimes, and it's kind of weird. And if you fall all the way down, that's called, I guess, to factory. And
it loses like a minute.
Yeah. So that was incredibly close, and glad it didn't happen. Otherwise, a good 100.
Yeah, tricky stuff is out of the way now.
幽霊にしちゃう。
Just falling onto that last red is kind of a weird thing.
トジコみたいに。あ、トジコは違うわ。
So I wanted to bring up that something that last donation said, and that's cheese has improved over the last few months. If you go from April 2016 to April 2017, cheese improved the world record time over like 6 individual times. He got his own world record over himself during that time. So yeah, he's been an incredibly rapidly improving player.
Yeah, one of the fastest, if not the fastest, improving players.
This is where you truly see the stupid hitboxes on the boost.
There'll be more donations.
Alright, we have $200 from Herpa Durfa. This is the first AGDQ I've been able to attend, and it's been an awesome experience. Thanks to all runners, staff, and attendees for making it such a great experience. Money goes towards unlocking Portal 2. And we have $150 from Oh My Swan. Donated a little already, but have to donate more now because 1, Mario and Zelda hype, and 2, Portal 2 needs to happen, and 3, it's a good cause, so why not? Thanks, Oh My Swan.
I guess here's kind of a good time to explain how the eyeballs actually work. To get them to look at you, you basically have to be looking back at them. So like if you're facing away, they'll just keep spinning around. So you can cut your corners close and have it so you're just barely facing the pupil of the eye.
So he's going to go up to kill the big boo at the top of the mansion, and there's a recent optimization here where we used to ground pound twice, I think, but now
no, you would punch here.
Or punch, yeah. But instead, before you long jump, Mario's in a crouching state, and that when he's in that state, he can actually do damage. So you use that state, and then you long jump, and then you move with the boo, and then you slide down, and when you're sliding, you also do damage. And the star instantly spawns because he pushed the boo into the wall. So like depending on where you kill a boo, the star will either spawn right away or it'll take a couple seconds.
So I'm gonna purposely save after this star just in case like something happens and the game crashes or anything, that I'll have a save file.
I always do that.
So coming up is probably one of the hardest stars for beginners. Dire Docks 100. There's a lot of things.
もうちょっと目離したらもう3枚ぐらいスタートってるよ。
You'll also notice a lot of crazy leg reductions.
Yeah, I definitely struggled with
少し目を離した隙に子供が3枚もスターを獲得してる。
But when you get pretty good, it's not nearly as hard in my opinion.
Yeah, there's a couple of big tricks. But besides that, it's a lot of swimming. But even the swimming can be hard too.
There's still some like kind of precise things you can screw up and lose a lot of time on though.
Yeah. So in the beginning here, he can miss one coin and be okay. So ideally, you don't want to miss any of these first 17 or so. But once you get to the rings, you can be a little more crazy with your swimming to save time.
We've got $100 from Critical Everything. Donating for this SM64 run. This was easily my favorite game as a kid, and I'm having a blast seeing it destroyed today.
チョコミントチョコっていろいろあるけどどれが美味しい？
やっぱセブンティーンアイスのチョコミント。
Do a ton of lag reduction here. You just hold C left the whole time.
Yeah, as it's loading the sub, if you keep the camera facing forward, it lags.
これがやっぱ程よいかな。
Yeah.
セブンティーンアイスのチョコミントはやっぱ程よいかな。
So coming up after some sub movement, there's going to be two big tricks. There's called front sub, which is just a way to get on the sub from the front. And then there's a pretty precise triple jump wall kick he's going to do. Those are both really difficult.
すごいな、もうスピードランドマリオ。ほぼ
I
パ
don't
ス
know
ク
if
ー
you
ルだ。
mentioned, but the intended strat to get all these reds is, I don't know what star you need to do to get the poles to spawn, but there's moving poles that will spawn at some point.
The submarine disappears when you do fire C, and doesn't that make the pole spawn or something?
That might be it.
Yeah, once you do fire C, I'm pretty
There,
sure
you nailed
the
them
poles
both.
up. It's,
Yeah,
That triple jump. That triple jump dive back there, that's kind of precise. You basically have to triple jump like near the edge of the submarine. So if you like overshoot it a little bit, you'll just slide down and lose like 15 to 20 seconds. It's a good thing you got it.
And if you undershoot it, you just won't make it onto the platform.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, that was one of the better ones that I've seen recently.
いつかパルクールのゲームで
So
たら
next up,
隠
there's
し
just
キャラでマリオ
two
出たら
swimming
買う
stars.
わ。
Pretty basic. If you have time, if you have any donations, feel free to go ahead.
Okay, we do.
なんでこの子頭を上げてるのに
$200 from
足上げ
Carde
しんちゃんです。
1842.
はい
Cannot count the number of hours spent trying to beat Super Mario 64. Feels good to see it destroyed. I also have $1,000 from Red 28. He says, long-time watcher, first-time donator. A great cause and amazing runs in some of my favorite games like Mario 64 make this a must to finally donate. Looking forward to the bonus runs in Breath of the Wild and hopefully Portal 2. Special shout out to the people behind the scenes who will deliver us another successful GDQ. Greetings
す
from
ごいな、
Germany.
ここから
音声だけ聞くとスポーツの試合みたい。
ここからこうなったか。
So here he's going to do the sub star, the star that's on the sub, and that's going to spawn fire.
ここからこうなった
It's the
か。
second Bowser stage. It's very technical.
じゃあもうちょい顔を大
I
き
like
く
to
する
point
か
out。that you can go to the left here instead of the right, which is called front sub. It's quite a bit harder than the strat that he's going to do. It only saves like a second, and it can punish you like really hard if you screw it up. Because if you screw it up, you're going to get a lot of lag, and it's hard to time the jump going up. So most people, just about everyone, does this strat here.
Yeah, this is not too hard at all.
Yeah, this strat's super safe. Alright, we got Fire C coming up. Like Blue Bob said, very fast and technical, really crazy stage. You can lose lots of time here. It like depends on what cycle you get, really.
Yeah, so I guess to explain how it's cycle-based, there's an elevator on the second level that goes up and down. And if you get the fastest one, which is called Lava Boost, you piss on the lava and you get on the elevator as it's going up. That's the fastest thing. And if you just make a tiny mistake, you probably can't get that cycle anymore.
すごいな、この線の太さ。
A pretty good chunk of time. So.
Yeah, this should be Lava Boost, really, at least. But
そりゃそうよ。
Yeah, that's definitely it.
Alright, that's Lava Boost, early at least.
So that alone is really hard, but this ending part is also quite technical. This is called good ending if he gets it. You land onto this elevator right
when
here.
you land, when you launch up onto that platform and you don't grab onto the ledge, it's like, this is like a perfect Fire C.
This is
almost.
absolutely insane.
Oh, that was a mistake.
Very good Fire C. And that side flip that he did back there, when he grabbed breakpoint number 6, I think, that's really new. It's like better to do that when you make this cycle like a little slow, I think.
But yeah, as someone who's watched Cheese run this game since 2 weeks after he started, watch him just go after Fire C again and again, that was
クッパ隙ができすぎている。
Okay. So from here on out, you can read lots of donations, or for like the next like 2 minutes. They're not really much exciting
やっ
parts.
ぱ隙が大きすぎるだろ今の。怠慢だぞ。
Alright, we've got $200 from DDR Coder. I'm loving this Mario 64 run. This goes towards Portal 2. Though it looks like we've got a ways to go before we hit that incentive. Go donate, people. I agree. We have Mr. Pogo who gives $25 and just says, Mamma mia!
So I guess one thing to note here with the Manta Star, these rings can... Their hitboxes are really weird. And if you don't get those first 5, the 6th one's okay, but if you miss there, you can go right through the next few rings and they just won't even register. So you basically have to do laps around with the Manta.
This star coming up is another one of the Jetstream stars that I think Punke mentioned earlier in Jolly Roger Bay.
タイマニーや。タイマニーやってくれる
You're
ってなんだ
intended to get the metal cap.
ソシャゲのやつやってくれるってことか。
You swim optimally,
お
then
クッパも頑張ってるな。
you're able to fight against the Jetstream
やる
to
ぞ
get in.
Yeah, and this one's harder than the one in Jolly Roger Bay.
もう
The
ちょ
star's
っと大
actually
きくって
lower.
こと
Yeah, it's much harder.
Yeah, and you actually have to go through rings to activate the star.
Yes.
Instead of just
なんかもう顔の大きさこんなになっちゃうけど。
Yeah, sometimes when you start going down, you can like do it like too late, and so even if you go straight down after that, then you'll like go past the star.
Yeah, it's a technique called fast swim that you've seen a few times, and it's starting your next stroke just at the exact right time.
That was really good.
あんた、酸素ぐらいを食らわせるわよ。
It's so easy to get pushed out of that jet stream. You need to swim, like, if you don't get it like that, trying to get back into the jet stream, you have to swim at a very weird angle to get the
あ
star.
と1時間経たずに残り50枚か集めるってことか。すごいな。
So it looks like he'll be going upstairs just over an hour and 5 minutes. So overall, this is a really, really good run for a marathon.
So here, I'm pretty sure the name of the star is Collect the Caps.
頭の大きさ
And
こ
as
ん
you'll
な
see,
もん
he's
だ
going to come up and get Vanish Cap, and to the left you can see
脳
Metal
の大
Cap,
きさと
but we
同
didn't
じ
hit
で
the
こんな
switch,
もん
so
か。
there's no cap there.
だいぶ大きくないこ
So you're
れ。
intended to get both those caps and then run over to this gate, but it's just faster to swim over. Using the metal cap in the water is not actually that fast because it takes him a long time to jump to the bottom, and then running is not that fast.
Yeah, and while he's dropping, you can't move forwards or backwards.
Yeah.
だいぶ
So
大き
here
く
he's
ない
going to go back in the stage and then quit the level. It's the fastest way to get to the lobby, which will bring him back upstairs.
そうでもないのか。ちょうどいいのかこれが。
Okay, so upstairs portion. This is probably the hardest part. This is when RNG and stuff starts getting really prominent.
And in a run, you'll be getting pretty nervous at this point too, especially if it's a good run.
Even like now.
全部燃やして
That being said, Cheese's upstairs is pretty legendary, so
それでも6等身半はある
compared
よ
to like shifting Sandland and HNC, I'm less concerned because this is always just such a treat to watch.
Yeah, they've just recently been pushing their upstairs quite a bit. And now they're at the point where they're able to do from when you touch the door to the end in under 36 minutes, which is pretty insane.
For that side flip triple jump wall kick he did, what you have to do is you have to delay like the second jump so that your angle changes. And if you, it's like kind of tricky to time it, but that's how that works. Like your angle changes with the delay.
Yeah, and he'll do it again here. For whatever reason, after a side flip, you can wait quite a while before you do your double jump.
See right there.
So he had a weird angle with the side flip, but he just fixes it with the double jump.
Yeah, and luckily the camera it gives you allows you to just hold straight up for the double jump portion.
You lose a lot of time if you screw up that on either of those stars. Probably like 10 seconds, but
In practice, I saw him messing up a couple of times, and it's like you barely even know what to do to get back there.
yeah, it sucks.
If you react fast enough, you can hold back and grab that ledge, but it's pretty hard to react to.
Alright, this is a Wedge Dry World Secrets. Like I said earlier, like, if you screw up badly, your game can actually, like, freeze here because of the sound glitch, which is Japanese only. But, that probably won't happen.
Yeah, it's super uncommon.
Hopefully.
I've actually done it in a race before when I hadn't saved the entire time, so it's basically a guaranteed forfeit.
As long as you get that long jump under the box, you're good.
Yeah, just long jump here. We're good.
You're good.
Nice Dry World so far.
100 coin is next. This 100 coin doesn't have much RNG really.
Very technical.
その大きさでやってみる
One of them more
That's an
technical.
understatement.
Yeah, it's one of the
もう
ones
ちょ
that
い大きくするかじゃあ
looks quite simple actually, but there's an insane amount of tiny little optimizations that he does.
I don't think it looks simple at all. I think it's pretty complicated.
Well, you make it look simple.
I'll take that.
こんなもん
これもさ、
模写
So you start at the top by getting a lot of fast coins. A lot of the secret boxes give a lot of coins, 10 coins from each of those boxes, and then he comes down here to get the reds
模写
and the rest of the 100.
模写
Yeah, you gotta be careful with the boxes. If you go too fast, you'll miss a
Mm,
coin or two, and you have to like kill.
モデルはある
You either have to like chase the coin or kill one of the spiders in this town area.
モブ武者
There's a recent optimization back at that part where basically with the same side flip that destroys the box, you can wall kick with that same side flip.
Until that was near flawless.
Yeah, that was insanely good until then.
So here he's going to grab the star and clip up onto the ledge. If you're right next to a wall and you grab a star and you do a big enough jump, you'll just land up on the ledge, and it's just faster than ground pounding the star there and then jumping up on the ledge.
One of the very few times that.
じゃあとりあえずこれでやってみるか
If you have a donation or two, this is
こんな
probably
も
a
ん
good
で
time to read it.
こんなもんでやってみるか
Okay, we have $500 from Witness the Klutz.
どう
They say, this is my wife and I's second GDQ, and we love watching runners do their thing. We actually just played Portal 2 together for the first time last week. Put this money towards Portal 2. We've got $170 from Delphina, $10 for every death in Super Penguin World. Mario runs always have the best runners, best couches, and most interesting strats. Loving this SM64 run.
So this part right here, it's very hard to actually do well. It's like there's a lot of tiny little mistakes you can make during this part, and usually when you do it, it snowballs into more mistakes. So it's good that he did that part well there.
One thing to note about Wet Dry World is depending on where you enter the portrait, the water level changes. So for that star, he entered with a backflip, but now for this star, he entered very low, so the water will be non-existent pretty much. It'll be a very dry world.
The good thing now is that extended periods of swimming is like over now. Like you do a little more swimming, but not much at all. Something like TTM and THI.
Almost dropped my controller.
So now he's going into THI or Tiny Huge Island. And if you go in this left painting, which we will always do for every star, they'll start in the tiny world. But if you go to the right, you'll go to the huge world.
Yeah, the only scenario where it's actually faster to enter the big penguin is when you do the red coins by itself, but that is not done in 120 star because it's paired with 100 coin. Some players opt to do it in 70 star.
Nice.
That was really good.
So if that water, that little puddle at the top of the mountain wasn't there, he would have just clipped through and fell down and died, but it's always there, and when you clip into water, you just teleport to the top. And if you have enough speed and you do a dive, you can clip through that mountain. And he'll do that later in the huge version of the world.
下からこれどうなってこっちがこうなってんのか
This star has
こっ
quite
ち
a
が
bit
こ
of
うだとした
RNG
ら
to it
こっ
because
ち
you
が
have
こ
to
うだ
kill
と
a
した
lot
ら
of Goombas, and they can just like walk wherever they want to.
Also, for the big Goombas, you always want to ground pound
こっ
them.
ちがこうだとしたらこっちがちょっと太い
If you just jump, which sometimes players will do by accident, you just get a yellow coin.
Yeah, or if you accidentally bonk into a Goomba while trying to ground pound, it'll just knock you in the air, and then you'll also hit the Goomba, and then you'll have to go ground pound to back up Goomba, which is quite slow.
So what happened there with that second Goomba, I got really scared because it was really close, so I just stayed close to the gate. And some weird stuff happened, but I didn't mess it up, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's about the best way to explain it. Some weird stuff.
That's kind of Super Mario 64 in a nutshell, as far as the speedrun. For that part, I don't know if anyone's figured it out yet, but the fly guy can go towards you early when you jump over there, which is pretty bad. I wish I knew like why he does that.
Depends which direction you're facing.
That's what I've heard, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like it. This feels random.
ああ、花ちゃんとかいたな、ここ。懐かしい。
Reds here are a little scary. If you fall, you lose like 2 minutes.
すごいね、100枚コインマネージメント完璧じゃん。
So there's a tiny little optimization there called Sicko Kick, which is very precise, and Punkei goes for it and runs.
Yeah, it's just instead of side flip diving and rolling out to the blue coin switch, you just do a single jump and a kick, and it's super scary.
And after you do a kick, you can't grab onto a ledge, so if you don't make it up, you just die.
ちょっとこっちの腕細すぎる。
Gotta save
That was a nice
frames,
100. This has been a good THI so far.
Yes.
Those are pretty much the hardest stars of this level. The rest are not too bad.
For that, if you just side flip while holding like right or whatever, you can clip through the thing at the top. You can also clip through that. You can clip through a lot of things in this game.
Yeah, so basically he just clipped through the wall and then swam directly into the loading zone.
Yeah, what you're meant to do is ground pound the top of the tiny island, and that drains the water. And then you come to the huge island and you walk all the way up there and go in the hole. But the hole is always there, so you clip through and then swim into it.
All the mini-boss fights are incredibly hard in this game.
The only hard boss fight is the last one, where you have to throw Bowser.
花ちゃん入れていい
Really, Koopa is the most difficult boss.
花ちゃんでも足もいでくれないと。いや、そういう話じゃない。
So he's gonna do that clip again for the star. I don't do the strat. I don't know. You don't
I don't do it either. I just
It's a really,
it's a little
it's
optimization.
quite difficult.
It's super cool looking. It's super fast.
On top of being hard to do, it saves a small enough amount of time that even if you do it slowly, it's just the same speed as doing the other side. That was quick. That was very good.
Nice.
This is a good THI.
Buttery.
Buttery, yes. I agree.
Extremely.
Beautiful. Elegant.
Tremendous.
Alright, so we have some time for donations.
All right, we have a $1,392.80 donation from Fish Sticks. He says, had to save the big donation for my favorite speedrun, Mario 64, 120 star. Big ups to Cheese and all the M64 runners for pushing this game so much further than anyone thought possible. And to all the GDQ organizers, volunteers, runners, attendees, and viewers online, you are awesome and should feel awesome. Peace, Fish Sticks.
So coming up, here's the second race with Koopa the Quick.
30分あと26分
Semi-recently, we started actually doing this race by using the shell from the little Koopa. They used to just actually do a route where you'd run the entire way. And it improves your race time by about usually 4 to 5 seconds maybe, which maybe saves like a second or two.
難しいな。これもうちょっと胸を張りたいんだけど。胸をこうもうちょっとこう胸を張りたいんだけどな。
Yeah, any 13 is good.
And if you're one with the shell, you can get a 12.
It's not going to be 13.
A weird mechanic with shells is if you can be going very slow, and if you go on a slope and you're angled going down the slope and you jump, you gain a ton of speed.
Yeah,
so we try to use slopes whenever we can when we're using a shell to speed it up. And every jump with a shell also increases your speed.
Yeah, he'll utilize the using a slope to gain speed in Snowman's Land as well, in the 100 coin star.
Alright, the next level is TTM, aka Telltale Mountain. A lot of people hate this level.
Yeah, it's my most hated level. I always have problems with it. For me, it's the hardest level, but it's either you do it well or you don't, really.
Yes!
Beautiful form.
Alright, he's gonna try breezeless. You wanna like triple jump at like the peak height of it, really. And if you do it right, you'll see what happens.
Very close.
So if he was just a little bit higher there, the ground pound would have clipped him up. into the
うわ、出
fence.
た。
Yeah, the whole reason it works is because of that fence, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
believe-
honestly not sure like how it works exactly. I have like I don't think I've ever really gotten it consistently. It's just one of those tricks where you get it or you don't really.
Yeah, luckily it's a small time saver, and you don't lose a ton for failing it either. I think it's about 4 seconds, I'd say, is roughly.
Speaking of
Even less.
weird things that work, just jumping into the wall.
That's called logwheel kick. It's been around for a long time. Runners didn't start doing it until like I don't know, a couple of years back or something. It saves like around 1.5 each time you do it. But I think back to Breezes, I think it originated as like a TAS strat because of how hard it is. You need like a ridiculous amount of height with your triple jump. So TTM has some pretty difficult stuff.
So this trick right here is called mountain clip. He jump dives at the peak of the slope. It clips him through, and he lands into that water. And whenever you land into water, you just get teleported to the top. So he immediately goes to the top of the water.
Yeah, there's 2 bodies that are, well, I'm not 100% sure, but like there's one body that's lower, and then there's one that's higher, and if you just swim from the lower one
昔
to the
こ
higher
のマ
one,
リ
it
オの
just
攻
works
略
well.
本にさ、載ってたよ、コマの中で。
Yeah, and what he does is he'll just
マリオが
jump dive
上の
straight into the
HP
higher
ゲージを
one. But they're both pretty
ぶっ
fast.
壊して死ぬって
But if you
い
do a jump
う
dive, it's faster than
4コマがあってさ
Yeah, the mountain clip
So
basically
what the-
entirely breaks this level, which is good for the speedrun.
Okay, so for this star, like you want to grab the monkey when the monkey's on like the
なんだろう
slope, so
な
that you
なんか
can
ピコンピコンなってんの
yeah
が
like
うる
that.
せえ
So you
みたい
keep a
な
hold onto the monkey so that you
み
can
た
jump
いな理
here
由で
and ground
あ
pound
の
a lot of
上の
height.
HP ゲージぶっ壊した
And
ら
the
マリ
monkey
オ
will
が
just
倒れて
quickly
死ぬっ
talk
て
to
い
you
うオチ
instead of having to wait for the monkey to go all the way down the mountain. It saves like I don't know 20 plus. It's a lot.
Yeah, he gives you 2 options when you grab him. He either says, let me go, or hold on to him. And what we did was we let him go, but since we're on the slope, it didn't let him go, so the game thought he was doing his... Because what he'll do is you let him go and he'll walk all the way down and then he'll talk to you.
最高だったなあれ
But we kind of tricked the game into thinking that he already did it, and we just did a precise... Not that precise, but kind of a precise ground pound.
Yeah, and if you fail the ground pound, he can do some weird things. Sometimes he'll just go up to the top of the mountain and start spinning in circles, and you can't talk to him.
おい木村
As long as you have the right angle there, that one's not too bad.
Yeah, that one's pretty much a guarantee. That doesn't stop me from clenching every time I see it done, though.
Every time. So here we have another classic, 100 plus reds. Some of the coolest movement in the game, I think, is these upcoming reds and
Yeah.
coins.
やっぱスカラちゃんには機械化をしてもらいたいし
I need those coins.
ジンボットにはぶっかけをしてもらいたいし
Yes. Okay. Not too shabby.
Good backup.
We'll come back for that star later. We need to go into the slide to get many coins.
ジュン君には職種
You want to miss 1
疑似
coin
出
on the
産
slide and exit with 99.
メカなるな
If you, there's a lot of backups if you miss coins though. They don't use too much, but
Yeah, if you miss 2 coins, you just kill 2 bombs. If you miss 3, you can
確か
either
に
kill
ジン
all
ボット
3
にぶっ
bombs
か
or
けしても
just
ら
go
い
for
た
the
い
chuck, yeah.
there's also 5 coins on a
ジンボ
bridge
ッ
that's
ト
about the same
が
speed as
ぶ
the
っか
chuck.
けを
And you miss a
してもらう
coin here because if you don't, then the
され
100 coin
されて
star
もら
will
う
like spawn on the
していただ
slide,
く
which is
なさる
the
ぶっかけなさる
disaster, obviously.
There's a way to spawn it and get it and still survive, but let's say he didn't miss a coin and
知る大師
you
殿
weren't
下
aware that that
が
happened,
ぶっ
but
か
like
け
if
な
you're
さる
running, you're aware, but it would spawn right here, and then you could get the star, but he would be turned towards the camera back that way, and he would just slide backwards and die. You wouldn't have enough speed to make it over the gap. So we get our last coin here from a bomb.
And the jump to the red coin star is clutter with invis-walls, but we usually have different ways to avoid them.
You go right then left. and
Yeah.
You usually avoid it.
What kind of arches long jump here?
ルカナン VS 三村かな子相撲
That was good.
どんなが出るか
Good TTM all around. It's a very difficult stage to pull everything off, so.
Alright, Snowman's Land
Mate,
is coming
mate.
up. This area is really fast. Lots of fast stars. The 100 coin probably has the most RNG throughout the entire run, so I personally really do not like doing it.
It's a really good stage except for 100 coin. I think most runners hate that star.
食座好きじゃな
I
いんだ
also
よ
hate
な
Snowman's Head.
ちょっ
Yeah.
と待ってちゃ。
That wall kick is very tough to do. That was very nice. If you go too high, you'll bonk. If you go too low, it's just kind of weird. It's a very small wall that you're trying to wall kick on.
食座好きじゃないんだ
Yeah, I
よ
think Punkei mentioned like it's
で
a
ジンボットは催眠にかかってもらいたい
stage, like it's just it's gone in a second, and so it's kind of like a speedrunner's dream with how movement intensive it is.
Yeah. Every single star, if done well, except for 100 coin, is under 20 seconds.
That to me is like the hardest star in the game, so I'm glad I didn't mess that up.
Yeah, the camera in the igloo is absolutely atrocious, so handling it well is very
催
difficult.
眠にかかってチンコ生やして潤くんを貸して、
You
自
can
分
read
が
a
レ
quick
ボット
donation
だ
if
と
you want.
錯覚する催眠。
Okay, I've got a quick one. We got $100 from Pangea Panga.
まあ確かに
や
ジンボットがジュン君逆レイブ本はやっぱり
He
欲し
says,
いた
this
いよ
is
な
for Dode destroying my butt in Super Panga World. Also, hi Simply.
催眠にかかってエロいことされても何も思わ
For
ない
that
やつ
star
が
he
いい。
just did, if you don't bonk into the box like that, if you time your ground pound, then it saves like a second over like the easy guaranteed strat. It's a pretty cool optimization though.
So it's time for 100 coin.
Yeah, this is an RNG fest. That was really good.
That was
RNG.
insanely good.
Thank you, Moneybag.
That's the kind of RNG you never get if you're on a good run.
But
パンチ
basically,
力あ
you
る
kill
の
a bunch of enemies.
改めて見る
100
と
coin, and
ぶん
kill
殴
two
ってふわふわさん
money
殺して
bags
金を取るっていうこのマリオ
get, like,
の
heavily impacted by RNG. Like every coin can just go like flying in different directions. It's like the worst.
Yeah, I don't really actually feel like it's RNG. I feel like it's hate you. Like the RNG is just hateful every single time.
Unless you're on a bad run, then it loves you. But it doesn't matter then.
催眠がなくなってもインドネシアのところへ帰
He
っちゃう
killed
や
that
つがいい。
Goomba so that he has an extra coin. So if he gets screwed over by the money bag, then he can hopefully like. By screwed over by the money bag, I mean one of the coins can
ジュン
go
君が
into like
ジン
the
ボッ
ice
トにエロ
under
い
the
ことしちゃう
bully,
系
and you
か
can't really like get it because it just disappears immediately. So if one coin goes there and he gets all the others, he'll be fine. That's why he killed the
こ
Goomba.
うジンボット
So
が
he's going to
ジュン
utilize
君
using the
を
slope
犯
to
しち
get
ゃうや
speed
つ
on
か
the shell again.
逆レイプしちゃうや
インドネシア人の彼氏とジンボット派純愛だぞ。
A noticeable increase in speed there after the slope jump.
Okay, so here's the second money bag.
つやはりいつかは
That one wasn't great.
いつかは俺も
Not the greatest, but it could have gone much worse.
It's still nice to have an extra coin because for the last spin drift he's about to kill, you can get very bad RNG and a coin can fall, but he just has to grab two now. So this is pretty
もう
safe.
全然意味わかんないじゃん
Alright, it was good RNG, but I wanted to make sure, so I got an extra coin.
The marathon safe strat.
Yeah. The only safe strat I've done for
ス
the
ター100枚おめでとうございますキー版の方は
Yeah,
報
you've been
告してくださ
actually
い
going pretty like flat out the entire time.
Yeah, I'm doing all the strats that I can, you know.
Okay,
shout
this
out.
next star is like really intense. It takes like 100 hours
キー
of
版報
practice
告
to
が
get
必
it
ずして
down.
ください
I was pretty off, sorry. Wow, he did it.
What a guy! Oh my goodness, how is he so good?
Legend.
God
Legend.
hater.
That's why he's the world record holder right there.
Here we have another joke of a boss coming up.
踏み逃げ早めてください。
That was hard.
悪質なタックル
That's the real thousands of hours.
できませんでしたじゃ済まされないの
Alright, he's going to Tippy, which is like the tip top of the castle. It's just like the last stages in the game, or like in this run. It's pretty difficult. There's a lot of precise parts. You can lose a lot of time or like die, especially in Rainbow Ride.
I guess one thing to note, I think it was the last time we had a 120 race here
あ
between
と
these
17
three.
枚
They had a total of 3 deaths in Cloud Stage, would
Yeah.
spawn you outside the castle.
This stage gives me nightmares.
あ
Two
こ
of
こ
which
があ
were
った
simple.
な
Yeah, if you fall down here, then you lose like it's like a minute to minute 30 seconds.
Thanks for making me nervous.
Anytime.
You're
No
welcome.
pressure.
あの空飛ぶとこだるすぎるでしょ
Because if you fall, you'll just land all the way back to where you started the game. out in the courtyard.
For the third red coin back there, there's a pretty unsafe strat where you don't land on the cloud and you just fly and grab it like you did in SSL earlier. But no one really does it, at least in like a really good run, because you can just like land on Mario's like belly and then slide off. Your run's over.
Ogre.
I don't think he does a strat here, does he?
No.
Do you want to talk about it simply?
So he's going to get this coin first, and then he's going to get the coin that's under the pole, but there's another strat that it saves either a second or 2 seconds where you get that coin first that he just got, and then you go and get the other coin. So you do a little triple jump, and you turn around, get that coin, then go over. That's the strat that I do.
The point of that part was to skip grabbing the pole, but it's very, very difficult.
Yeah.
You survived. Nicely done.
Yeah, that's only the really key there, as long as you don't die.
Alright, this level is called TikTok Clock. This is really, really fast
intense.
and crazy. Like, so many crazy things.
Insane.
So one thing to note, if you enter the clock when the minute hand is at the 12, everything will be stopped. And then if he enters between 6 and 12, which he'll also do, the things will be moving.
Yeah, everything is moving, pretty much. It's a very animated stage.
Oh, so he grabbed an extra red coin back there. I think Cheese is the only player I know who does that. But it's similar to what Dry World 100 coin in a way, because you destroy boxes with like 10 coins in each box. So if you get like really bad RNG or like go too fast or something, you can miss one. But he has 2 extra now, so he can just like go really fast. He doesn't have to worry about it.
There's an invis-wall coming up here after this box. There's actually a couple invis-walls, but he's safe though. Now we're good.
It's a pretty solid 100 overall.
Yeah, there was a couple of jump mishaps, but that was good.
Yeah.
The tricky part is this ending part right here.
Oh.
Oh! All those firsties.
It depends on the position of the thwomp, and you kind of have to react to the sound, but you can get something called a good ending, and it's basically when you like wall kick off the thwomp, so you can do like a jump, like a wall kick dive into the star. It saves like a second, but it's kind of hard. It's around that, because it skips like an entire wall kick, pretty sure.
Yeah. This movement here is kind of new.
Well, to beat that pendulum.
Yeah, the swinging thing will usually knock you out of the way, but if you do that movement, you're able to get there before.
Yeah, there's 2 more stars where you do that triple jump wall kick at the beginning, and that triple jump wall kick is the hardest part of the 3 stars, so if you get it down, then you kind of have those 3 stars down, in my opinion.
I'd agree. In practice, it's not too hard, but when you're at this point in the run, you're usually very nervous.
Yeah, nerves are a huge factor. And it's really punishing a Tippy because most mistakes result in a death.
もうギミックが意図をなしてないじゃん。
little things that are wrong when you're
ス
nervous.
テージギミック
Yeah, I
が
mentioned how
も
Cheese had messed with
う
a
ヒント
heart
が
rate monitor before. He was closing in on the world record where he was, I think it was like when he was 5 seconds off of 139. His heart rate climbed to over like 170 or 180 when he was going through TikTok clock.
So that's all the time moving
早
stars.
す
You
ぎ
can
る
do
で
2
かん
more
は
with the minute hand at 12, which is red coins, and what's the name of the other strat?
Time jumps on moving bars, I think.
Yep.
Which I think he's doing next.
Yeah.
Do we have time for a donation?
Yeah.
We have $1,000 from Dubanka. He says, I saved up my allowance for years to buy an N64 and 1 game on release. Needless to say, I bought Wayne Gretzky's Hockey.
Good choice.
In retrospect, SMB64 may have been a better choice. Good luck, Cheese.
Oh no.
no.
Yeah, you can't really ledge grab on these things. They have weird properties on the edges.
Yeah, and if you miss one, you fall all the way down every time, pretty much.
Oh my god, okay.
お、疲れが見えてるな。
Other than that,
Hardest star
other
of the
than that,
stage.
that was a nice TBC.
Other than that,
2分に1メートル計算。人力アピ。
that star is very... I never like that star because if you fall down there, it's like trying to solve a maze.
I looked at the timer. If you get a nice rainbow ride in Sky, you can get like a 141, I believe.
Yeah.
Like a mid 141 if it's really good.
Yes! So consistent with the Toad stars. Absolutely incredible gameplay.
Alright, this level is kind of scary. There's a lot of places you can die, and he's going to start off doing something called Lockety Bounce. If you screw it up, it loses a few seconds.
You have to do it twice throughout the run.
There's many ways to do this.
Yeah, so he moves in a pretty specific way to manipulate the Lakitu to fall right under him as he wall kicks. And
the Lockety Bounce he did is like the old bounce. There was a newer, like easier bounce.
やばすぎ。
There's a newer, easier bounce that was discovered. It's like a second or two slower, but it's like, in my opinion, it's way easier. But I probably just suck at the older one.
the older one is quite a bit harder. You have to move. It just takes forever to learn how to move the right way.
Okay, this shows tricky triangles. It's kind of scary. If your angle, like, right there is, like, too far to the left, then you'll, like, wall kick and probably die.
That was really good.
Speed kick round pound.
Faster X game, yeah.
Now
it's 100 coin. There is a bit of RNG here. He's also going to kill a Lakitu later that drops 5 coins, and they can sometimes troll you pretty hard, but there's backups.
A nice time save is if that fly guy gave him both coins, then he could skip a red coin.
Yeah, if you get all from the fly guy and the Lakitu.
Mm-hmm. But now he just has 1 extra coin, so he can miss one of these and just continue.
I can't believe this guy is not doing carpetless.
Nice, man.
まあここまで来たら別にここまで来なくてもスター80枚は手に入るから別にやる必要ないんだけどな、このステージクリアだけしようと思ったら。
He's opening the cannon now for after when he does the second Lakitu bounce.
そういえばこのステージスマブラでステージ化されてたよね。
That's always a really fun jump to see because it doesn't look like you should be able to do that. But okay, there's nothing really going on this carpet ride, so if you have a lot of donations, this is the perfect time to read them.
There's like a 1 minute and 30 seconds rest right now.
All right, I do have a lot of donations. Let's start it off with $1,000 from J. Fry K. He just says, let's make Portal happen. I agree. We've got $100 from Jason32, been watching since 2014, and I'm always proud of how much we raise every year as a community here. Keep up with the awesome runs. We have $100 from Lady Adelaide. After spending days of my childhood going after 120 stars, it's breathtaking to watch it be done in just a couple of hours. Now let's see some Portal 2. We have $15 from Jumis, who says, "Wah, yeah, woohoo!"
Accurate.
We've got a $120 anonymous donation that just says, "Good luck, Cheese."
Thank you.
We have $300 from Adrian Speed Lovers. Hi, GDQ. Thank you for all runners. I love what you do. Winter or summer, GDQ rocks. Please give this to Portal 2 and kisses from France. We've got a $100 anonymous donation that says, "This Super Mario 64 speedrun is really awesome to watch. Here's $100 to support this great cause."
Yeah, so the carpet ride's kind of like the calm before the storm, I guess. Well, you finish the run.
If you're on like a really, really good run, your heart's going to be like pounding, so it's a nice breather.
Yeah, you get to collect yourself a little bit.
That trick looks pretty scary, but if you fail the wall kick, you'll just land back on the carpet.
And the nice meme carpetless was basically all that trick is the pass only strat. That's everyone always says to go for it.
It's been done once by a human using save states.
No. If you screw it up that way, probably it's hard to say how much it loses. Probably like around 6-ish, maybe 8. Yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah, the timing for jumping after landing on the slope is pretty tough too.
Oh, by the way, this is why you keep red coins, because it's a quick backup. But he doesn't have that backup now.
Yeah, he's got swinging in the breeze and black to bounce left.
You could back up with swinging in the breeze, but I don't really like doing that.
Yeah, it's a last resort.
これでクッパまでやったらかっこいいな。かっこいいな。しら。完成されてるな、ここの動き。
でもあと3枚ならやるかね。
This side flip's pretty cool. Oh, never mind.
He's too optimized.
That's a new optimization, I think.
Yeah, we used to do a windy side flip.
For that cannon shot, you just want to aim it. You just want the bottom like arrow to be right above the rainbow.
Like the bottom of the ring,
yeah.
There's been quite a few times though where you have to get the Locky 2 bounce, and after you do like the carpet and everything, you're like, all right, you know, I'm loose, I'm good, and then all of a sudden you miss the Locky 2 bounce, and you're like, well, it's over.
This is probably the easiest star in Rainbow Ride.
There's a couple things that can go wrong, but
yeah, but it's rare.
This angle here is kind of precise. It's not an angle that's in the So we're heading into the final Bowser now. This can probably mid 141 if it goes well. So.
Yeah.
It's an insane time for a marathon.
あ、そっか、あそこに赤コインあるもんな。
ブランコの底ショールか。
Getting up these stairs can be a pain sometimes.
Sometimes you just eat your jumps.
Yeah.
Constantly.
ここの赤コイン取ってスター取ったら終わりか。
赤コインって終わりだな。
What you're supposed to do is push the box, but we don't even bother.
あと1分しか1分40秒だぞ。
There's like a normal
無理でしょ。
cycle, and then there's like a fast cycle.
できっ
The
こ
fast
ない。
cycle, so he's like it seems like 1.5 to 2 seconds. He was going to go for it, but he screwed up the rollout.
This is kind of a newer optimization here. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, he was going to try to side flip over the flame, but it can be fickle.
Yeah. Not a big time loss, though.
So getting on a pole from the base like that, the reason he kind of glitched at the bottom is because when you grab a pole at the bottom, you don't actually grab it, you glitch onto it, and if you tap B right as you glitch onto it, you grab it for real. Because I think the dive might give you a little bit of height to, you just can't grab the bottom of a pole for whatever reason. So there you just spam B.
Alright, the 120th star. Time for Bowser Bros.
Infamous Bowser.
絶対群れてるでしょ、その赤コイン。
グッバイ打て1はかからんか。
One,
two.
Oh,
yeah. We can do this. We got this.
Speed running! Yeah!
今の絵かっこいいの。
Insane time.
What?
Yeah.
Oh! 140, 139.
That was the most cheese possible ending.
Yeah. Excellent job.
2人は熱いハグをして終了。すごいな。でも2時間足らずにこのゲーム終わらしちゃうんだもんな。
3やんけ。すげえ。
全てのルートが構築されてるな。
すごいねマジで。
こんな男になりてえよ。
Hello, hello.
You're still on.
Yeah, I'd like to do some shout outs to my family, of course, because they're watching right now. And I wanna thank them for supporting me and believing that this could work for me. And I'd like to shout out Colpitz and Mario Fan because I know they donated a lot for me to shout out, and they're really
やっ
good
ぱエッ
friends.
チの時とかも
shout out
最
to
短
them
ルー
and
トとかを通っていくんや
friends,
ろな。
family, and everyone who came to watch. And yeah, man, Super Mario 64. That's it.
Let's hear it one more time for Cheese!
サックユー。
は？
エッチの最短ってなんや？お前寝ぼけ店の？
俺は寝ぼけ店だ。
いたしたことさえ気づかせなさそう。
よう、俺は寝ぼけ店だ。
子供3ヶ月ぐらいで生まれそう。ロペライオの時間だよ。
Right there.
スカラちゃん好きだよ。
I don't think I have an angle that I want, but we'll see. That's really strange. I don't know what ledge she just grabbed. I mean, I know roughly where it is, but...
3ヶ月はまだ更新の余地あるだろ。
Okay.
これね、USA 版中島信也がいるんだよ、後ろに。USA 版中島信也いるんだよな。
Okay, there we go.
こいつ。アメリカ版中島信也。
いたわ。
I'm trying to set up a West here. A trick to just move really fast enough.
ちょっと最初から見るわ。
I got...
File name Bid War. Second place was Oxwist 941.
センターアイランドじゃん。中島ローカルディスク中島んと。なんでマウスピースつけてんの？アメリカにも岡山の風が。
岡山に吹く熱い熱風。
Is it a capital?
No, the only zero is, or the 0, and 941.
What was it?
941.
Prepare for this.
One quick announcement just setting up. The animals emote is actually not in yet. We jumped the gun on that just a little bit.
Okay.
So yes, there you go.
Alright, I'll give a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, first I want to thank everyone for donating $75,000 to get this run in. Really amazing. This is Chow Dungeons. The definition of this category is you have to beat Degatry, Jabu Jabu's Belly, and Dodonga's Cavern as a child. And then it ends when you pick up the Ocarina of Time, because you don't really beat Ganon in this category. So it's not like a real official category anymore for the Ocarina of Time community, but it used to be really competitive, and we did a lot of races of it a few years ago. So the blindfolded strategies aren't the world record strategies, obviously. There are some altercations that I had to make. There's two main things that I want to talk about in the intro real quick. The audio in this game is actually really good. For a game in 1998, I can tell when Link is walking on grass versus walking on wood versus dirt versus stone. So there's a lot of little sound cues, and I'll try and talk about them, but sometimes I might just have to stop talking and focus on the noise. So if you guys, I want you guys to like focus on the audio more than how Link is moving around. So that's the first thing I'm going to be doing. The second thing, Ocarina of Time is actually a really good game for this because Link's positioning is often really rigid, meaning like if you're against a wall and you do a backflip distance, so if you do 2 backflips, you're always going to get the same unit of like measure. So I'm an angle. There seems like there's always a setup for him. It's like the king of setup.
お前目隠ししてる割にえれい喋るじゃねえか。
Like would map for tricks straight. So I might try and explain like what I'm thinking in my head is going on, and if I'm right, I look like a genius. But if I'm wrong, like you guys can feel free to laugh at me. Because sometimes like you kind of get lost and you have to find your way, and that always makes the run kind of interesting.
Jinbei も目隠して上されたらこんくらい喋るんだろうな。あぶわか。
いいダッシュだ。
Alright, I'm climbing over some fences. I'm gonna try and get some money here. Okay. Now I'm gonna work my way to this wall. When you target a wall, you like align to the wall, so I'm kinda using that to my advantage. It should be here. There it is. Alright, now in this area I can hear the boulder very clearly where it's at. Yeah, see? It went by right there. Oh, that was kind of close. Okay.
すげえ。
So I'm getting the sword right now, but I actually don't want to equip it yet. Actually equipping it would ruin the whole run. So I'm gonna just keep it in my inventory for now. There goes the boulder. And I do need to stop by the shop to pick up some items.
もうルローニケンシンのあいつじゃん。
これマジで目隠し？
そうだよ。
Yeah. I didn't want to target any of those things. Targeting an object is usually bad because it's going to ruin your angle.
Yeah, when you target something like...
Alright, there's a dirt path right there, so I'm good. And I want to get into Mito's house. He has some more money. The see-up camera here is a little better than the other angle. Okay. Okay.
Nice.
Alright, now it's better if you use this camera to escape, or like get out. I think. Hang on. I think there's a bot or something in my way. If we have to, we can save and reset. Okay, there we go. Okay, I heard Navi fly tech. Ooh, I targeted this side. Okay, there's the girl though. Okay. So I'm not gonna buy the shield yet. I need to buy some other items first. Deku sticks and nuts to do a trick later. I'm gonna get 2 sticks.
子供状態の時だっけ。
まだい？でも3ボスやんのかよ。
Now you always start your first pause on the map screen, so this is the item screen.
チルド
That's my stick, and that's my nut.
ってそうよ。
そう、チルド・ドゥンゲオンってね、そういうことやね。
I think I did that wrong.
チャイルド・ダンジョンズか。
Yeah, it's okay. I'll get that 5 later. I wanted 5 more rubies there, but we should be okay.
ちょっとボス倒す。
城の警備どうするんだろ。
城の警備見るか。
Again, using walls to target them is a really good way to set your angle. I'm gonna do a trick called Navi Dive here.
あれやってなくね。すっ飛ばしてんな。ダンジョンだけやってんなこいつ。
I had to back off, walk slowly off that edge.
Nice.
Alright, so now I gotta navigate down this water.
すげえな。目隠ししてバグ技も使っていくのかこいつ。マジで
enemy of like blindfolded runs you.
こいつ人間やめてんなマジで。こいつ人間やめてんな。すげえなこいつ。ちょっと今度見よう。マジモンの人間やめてるやつだな。あとね、これマリオ、これマリオ RPG のやつなんだけど、
this guy kind of normalized it in the Western community, at least for Mario.
I'm glad he did.
これだ。これ見て今日終わるか。これ眠り効くんだね。でこっから。
岐阜画像かな。
Please do not leave, thank you.
これペイマリア RPG みたいに回数制限なかったんか。催眠ポロリロロリ。
佐々木のぞみ、佐々木のぞみ、佐々木のぞみ、佐々木のぞみ、佐々木のぞみ、佐々木のぞみ。これないよ。これだって100回やったら報酬があるからね。スーパージャンパーというチート武器、チート防具が手に入るから。この人 RTA で100回スーパージャンプ成功させるという。
20回以降はボタン入力受付が 0.8 秒なんだっけか。あとは
Yeah, there it is.
Thank you, thank you.
これな、100回って1回のバトルで100回でいいのかな。今100回やってなかったよね、明らかに。ってことで1回の戦闘で100回やればいいってこと。あ、そうなんだ。累計100回なんだ、1回のバトルで。
If you've ever played this game casually, you probably have never done that before. It's very difficult to do. And what doing 100 super jumps, you can only do, like, that's the maximum amount you can do. And
ズンのヤスとアプグ。
ちょっとこの1ヶ月間はずっとお絵かきするかもしんない1ヶ月は多分ずっとお絵かきだからあれだぞ、やっぱデトロ
締め切りちゃんと設定しようね。
締め切りはね、とりあえず仮設定はしてるからね。
受かったら締め切りの設定参加者にも伝えなね。
あれのだろう。
デトロイトって言うとされんの。
なんで？なぜ？
頑張ってね。締め切りの仮設定今知る方法ある？
ありがとう。おっぱいでかっさすがロシア人、おっぱいがでかい。いいなぁ。
あら
ー元気っ子いいっすね。
5数年で腹の方がでかくなるからインドネシア人に好き勝手にされてる肉体だけどな。
もう配信あるから、まあ一日視聴制限だ。 ほなおやすみな。